Sign up. All right. Welcome to another
You're
Hostile Therapy Thursday. How's everybody doing out there in Hostile Therapy world? Because you're about to hear from your best Big Red, Lord Trent, a couple more that's going to scatter on in a little later on during the show.
as they do, as we all do.
And I see a nice glass you got in the background.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what I'm
It
saying? I
better be
like to keep
something fancy.
a good Cabernet. You know what I'm saying?
And I just got Turkey Hill sweet tea from Food
Uh,
Line. So
a good glass of red wine a day is good for the heart. The more bitter and dry, the better for you it is. Bitter equals better.
How about a nice heart clogging, drowned in sugar sweet tea?
Now, see, look, see, and you knew what you were saying when you said it, and
I
no,
know
that's what we in the community would like to call diabetes.
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 I'm fighting diabetes right now. I'm getting away
There's many
from
types. There's many types of diabetes, and we're trying to fight against it. So
it. I
let's
drink enough. I water it down with water. You water it down, and it doesn't hit you as hard. You drink enough glasses of water. You water down that sugar. You flush it out. Doesn't clog you up that bad. You're good. That's what I like. I like to think to myself.
let's start substituting our sugar with sweet and low. How about that?
Sweet and low.
Let's start there.
Stevia. Go with stevia,
Stevia,
right?
stevia, or Splenda,
Or Splenda. Either one of the two works. I
or the
just don't.
pink packet, whichever one.
Or the pink packet. That's almost akin to the Impossible Burger. It's not really a burger, stevia and all that. It's not really the sugar. If that was the case, they would put the same sugar in every type of thing that needs sugar. I gotta go with the real turkey bacon. The turkey bacon is an atrocity to all bacons out there. Yes, it's
Turkey
bacon,
bacon
but
is
it
not the
ain't
same thing as bacon. No, it is not.
no.
But
It is better, but
pork
better. How better
it's better for you. So when you
for
think about it in terms of that, in terms of your health, it's a lot better.
right? But ain't
Sometimes
that
you have to sacrifice taste in order to, live a few extra months. You know what I'm saying? Add some months.
turkey bacon? I feel like relates a lot towards life. And I say that
Turkey bacon's
because
life.
because bad bacon, regular bacon from pork is horrible for you. But damn, does it taste good. But turkey bacon
The yeah.
doesn't have the same taste, not as good. Healthy for you. You can relate that to people in life. You can get some of the baddest people that are good for you in other ways, saliciously, but they're bad for you in a whole lot of other ways, and you can't keep them in your life.
For shizzle. For shizzle.
But
I
then you
mean,
get,
at one point in time, there
yeah,
there were a group of people you could not tell them that Hitler was not the shit. You know what I'm saying?
you mean
Like
Nazis?
even the regular citizens of Germany, like
Uh-huh.
all of them wasn't Nazis, but they was out there mobbing for that terrible person. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? But for them, he meant a lot of good because
right.
apparently there was a big Jewish problem, and I don't know. I don't know.
Apparently.
I don't know
Right.
the 40s. I don't know the 40s Europe.
Well, we have politicians like that now.
Oh,
They look very good on the outside for you, but they're very rotten on the inside. You can't tell anybody anything because they've been indoctrinated.
brainwashed,
Yeah,
conditioned.
childhood,
All of y'all are sheeple.
adulthood. They gotta vote for a certain thing because that's what looks good. So I
And that really
gotta
bothers me
make it.
every time because elections or some elections are coming up. I don't know. I keep seeing things about registering to vote. I'm a registered voter.
You getting text?
Um,
I know you
hmm?
getting text. I know you getting
Oh
text.
yeah, definitely. I get texts about everything. I'm a blood donor. Shit, I'm O positive. I get all these goddamn text messages. But I hate when they make it seem like when we make it seem like, oh well, Republican, Democrat, they both lie to you. Yes, they politicians lie, literally by definition. What we need to do is expand our mind past those two parties because
Uh-huh.
there's the Green Party.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're into socialism, but you could fuck with socialism. I'm a registered independent. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Imma just put that out. I was watching Drink Champs with Kevin. Fuck it. Imma go ahead and say it. That's how Imma say that's how I'm gonna let you know I'm about to say some real shit. Fuck it. Imma go ahead and say it. I'm a
Huh.
registered independent. So, Yeah, I'm not gonna say I don't care about the election process. I do care because I
Yeah,
wanna
me
be
too.
able to complain legitimately. You know what I'm saying? When
Mhm.
my politicians aren't work, I wanna be able to I wanna know where my votes go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wanna be able to put a face to the shit that I'm talking about. If I
Right.
wanna talk about these potholes all over Fayetteville, I wanna be able to talk to insert Fayetteville politician that I voted for. I voted like a couple months ago. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember I voted for a black man and a black woman. So morally, I feel good about my decisions.
Morally, I just hope that decision works out.
Economically, I don't know how it's going. I work from home. So I don't know how the world is going out there. I hope your voice mattered.
Yeah, morally, I hope that works out for you because that doesn't always work just because your color folk is with you. Because color folk ain't always kinfolk.
That is a very good point. I saw I had to make that statement to someone that was trying to champion. I won't say this celebrity's name. This celebrity who has made several children, several mixed children with a famous white whore. Um,
I'm trying to think of the description. Who are we talking about?
a black man that
Several
has made
children.
several mixed children with a famous white whore.
Several. A politician?
No, just a black celebrity.
Oh, okay,
Celebrity.
okay. Uh,
Uh,
wait a minute. Oh, I got
Yeah,
you.
I was trying to and someone was trying to make the argument that
Got
we
you.
need to defend this person blindly because his children are black still. He is a black man still. And he's doing this, everything he's doing is for the black man. And I had to make the point to him,
Everything, though.
just as you made to me, that that all black representation ain't good representation. You know what I'm saying? Every black person that they put in the room does not need to be a or doesn't mean that they are a black person that needs to be in the because I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes down to like past race, past gender, past all of these things that we use to, identify ourselves, it comes down to survival. If it comes down to, and you see this a lot in the industry, if it comes down to putting myself further ahead to advance my career and to ensure that I and the people around me are sustained, I'm
Mhm.
going to do whatever it takes. I'm gonna do what need be. I feel like that whole thing was it, and they're not always thinking about the rest of their people along the way. Sometimes these started that way, they don't always finish that way.
Right.
Light nigga, dark
Other
nigga,
powers
broke
get
nigga,
hold of
real
'em.
nigga,
Other powers get a hold of them. Money from other people gets a hold of them, and that's true of other politicians. Well,
fame.
absolutely.
There's such a thing as being a famous politician. Like some politician, like if you've ever seen the campaign with
Oh yeah,
Will Ferrell
love
and
that movie.
Zach Galifianakis, I love that movie.
Takes
My man,
place in
Cam
Georgia.
Brady, 012.
I love that movie.
But yeah, he really just got off on being North Carolina State Senator Cam Brady. He didn't give a fuck about North Carolina. He didn't give a fuck
Teachers
about the
are
district.
our country's backbone. Immigrants
Farmers
are
are our country's backbone. That's how America does it, and that's how we're gonna do it. I love that movie because they really did display the what do they call it the Washington dance around where
right.
they act as if they're answering the question and just make you feel, that is a good question, and I'm glad that you asked that question. In order to make North Carolina strong, we have to make our jobs strong. And with strong jobs is a strong North Carolina. And that's how we're going to do it.
We asked you what were you going to do about sexual harassment in the
Cam
workplace.
Brady 012.
All right. All right. So, well, let's speak. Let's start on speaking on jobs. This we just got like a news cut just a few minutes ago about some important news. Did you look at the story about? I'm sure you have. There's no way, like you probably could not see it about Mr. Ime Adoka, the coach of the Boston Celtics.
Shout out my man Jermaine Cole. The DMs are open, bro. Shoot your shot. And we all know you got a mean jump shot.
Who's he shooting a jump shot at? Nia?
Of course.
Oh, everybody thinks they got a chance now. No, well, nobody
I
does.
mean, because no role models. What did he say? Wishing I was I regret I was way too young for Nia Long or some shit.
Right.
And there
Oh,
was an
yeah.
interview where Nia Long actually responded and said, "J. Cole isn't too young for me." Look that
Yeah.
shit
See,
up.
and
But
now,
I
man,
think he's happily married. I'm not gonna suggest. I think he's happily
we,
married with children. I'm not
see, maybe he may heard that and said, "Hey, okay, she having her fun. I'm gonna have my fun too." Throughout the
I mean,
whole entire Boston Celtics
and
organization.
you know what? That's the first thing. Like that's why I'm so ready to say fuck this nigga because I'm a Lakers fan. So fuck this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
fuck the Celtics. So you know what? After he wasn't helping. I'm to me, he was already losing by being associated with such a raggedy ass organization. I don't give a fuck about none of
Oh,
that.
hold on now. That raggedy now. They did invite the first black man in the NBA. Period.
Purple and gold.
First black coach ever in the Boston Celtics. They've done a lot of good for black people.
The
Maybe
only
the
Celtics I
people.
respect
Maybe
is
the
Bill
people
Russell.
around there.
I respect Bill Russell.
Mhm.
I respect Paul Pierce.
The
I
truth.
definitely respect the fuck out of Kevin Garnett because he could beat me up. Um,
Anything's possible.
um, Fuck Ray Allen. Oh, I just hate that nigga. There's just people in this world I don't like irrationally, and Ray Allen is one of those people. I don't know.
That's irrational.
It's
It is
because
irrational.
I fuck him,
He's
fuck
a
him,
good guy.
fuck him, and Jesus Shuttleworth, fuck him up against
Is
the
it
wall.
because he beat
R.I.P. my nigga
Kobe?
Bernie Mac.
Is it because he
Oh,
beat Kobe and they just destroyed Kobe on that 17th championship year? I think that's what it is. There's
he
some.
came back and got that and even the score in
He did.
2010. So don't even. Yeah,
He
I
did.
was there. 7-game series.
He did. It was a good
Mom.
series. They hadn't lost Perkins and a couple other people. They would have won that
Nah,
series.
nah, 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 nah. We're not gonna take it. We're not gonna
We're not
take
going
it
to take it back. They
because you
won.
know what? The
They won.
Lakers been back to the playoffs and they've gotten a championship since then. I mean, yeah, LeBron went
We're not,
all and got the Lakers another chip.
we're
So
not
shout out
counting
my
that
nigga Breezy.
Mickey
Shout out my nigga
Mouse
Bron.
championship.
When the last time the Celtics even been to fucking second round? When the last time them
Last
niggas
year.
was Eastern Conference?
Last year, dude.
They was Eastern Conference last year.
They were in the finals.
I only watched the Western Conference. How about that? How about that? I can't confirm or deny because I only watched the Western Conference. So I'm still right.
After they were in
Fuck
there
the
last year, they
Celtics.
lost in
Fuck
six.
the Celtics. Fuck St. Patrick's Day. Fuck Shamrock milkshake from McDonald's. Uh,
Yeah.
what else is Irish? Fuck the
Notre
luck of the
Dame,
Irish. That Disney Channel movie.
Notre Dame,
Fuck
Mantatio,
Notre Dame. Fuck the
Fantasia.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. Fuck
We ain't got to do this, man. Don't bring handicapped people into this, man. Come on.
fuck him. Fuck Lucky. And fuck Leprechaun in the Hood.
All right. Oh, specifically that one, not the other three or five incarnations of Leprechaun.
That's because that's the leprechaun in closest proximity to me, and that is a message about how crime works.
Hey, I get it. Let's
It's
let me
all
play this.
proximity, y'all.
Let me play this video right quick. We got some news that just came in. Ime Udoka is speaking on the scandal,
Oh, it's
um,
hot.
talking about what's going on, what led to him having these affairs in the Boston Celtics organization. Let's hear it right quick. So, Ime Udoka, you just lost the beautiful Nia Long. You just lost millions of dollars because you couldn't stay away from the poom poom. Well, I mean, you have to understand my side. She's out here making these Netflix movies with Omar Epps, and they ain't worth a damn. Fuck Netflix. I want some Netflix and chill. I'm more backed up than LA traffic. I'm more backed up than a toilet after somebody ate some expired Mexican food and wiped their behind with cardboard boxes and then tried to flush it. My penis has become Malcolm X, and I had to get that wet cat by any means necessary. Man, I guess nobody's going out here to talk about how she stole Craig from Joy in the movie Friday. So I had to go out here and get my Love Jones, if you know what I mean.
Wow. Okay. Ah, ah.
So there you go. Breaking news from Ime Udoka talking about why he said he had to do what he had to do, why he put his career and his engagement at risk.
First off, let's address what everyone is thinking. Joy won't shit. Joy had a nigga sleep. Joy had a nigga on the side while she was trying to confront Craig about who he was with at the show last night.
She
Knowing
don't
that her
care.
baby cousin sister Tracy is a goddamn lie. So we already know Joy was flawed from the get go. With that being said, this man, what's his name? Edibola, Idama
Ime,
Doka,
Ime Udoka.
Ime Udoka.
Mhm.
This nigga fumbled. This nigga, I mean, not to mention that he fumbled, he lost Nia Long. I'm never gonna let him live down being a member of the Celtics organization. Fuck him.
I
Fuck
don't
him.
think
Fuck him
I
off of
think
this
a
motherfucker.
lot of people are even glossing over that. They're like, forget the Boston Celtics organization. It's just Nia Long. You're just gonna let that slide. We
Like,
can't let
because
you
what
slide if
could
you just let
your
Nia
real
Long
reason
go.
be? Was you really just that horny for Boston hoes? For Boston for exactly like this. Boston hoes? Oh my god, it's Iman Udoka. Oh god. You're so freaking tall. Oh my god.
It's not even
You
what he did. This is who he did it with, man. Well, it's that too. But
Oh,
it's
yeah, and I saw
allegedly,
the chick. The chick is super mid. No, like, I don't wanna just, like I don't wanna
it's
shame another
alleged
woman.
though. It's alleged. Let's just put that out there. But allegedly, it's the
She's
one of
not
the
allegedly
VPs.
mid. She's
The,
definitely mid. I'll
it's
die
one
on
of the
that.
vice president's wife of the Boston Celtics. Like that is whoa. You can't do that, man. You can't sleep where you lay at, man.
Mrs. Celtic
It's huh?
or Mrs. Celtic or Mrs. Boston?
Either one, whatever you want to call it. You can't do that to the vice president. That's a high.
Yeah, so it's like you that's letting me know you wasn't even really attracted to this woman. You didn't really like this woman. It wasn't even like I love this woman and I want to be with her instead of Nia Long. I just
Mhm.
feel like it was just one of those things where it's like maybe you're just bored. I feel like them motherfuckers just got bored and just wanted to cheat on their more famous, more powerful, more successful, significant others with each other. Again, proximity. Just you know what I'm saying? Like you and you know what I'm saying? This probably ain't his first time because just like our that breaking news just said, she's filming again, you mad at Netflix movies, but she's filming movies with niggas like
Omar
niggas that
Epps.
she's been working with for like fucking 30 years at this point. So it's like if she ain't fucked them or married them yet, what are you worried about? You really think Lorenz Tate is really still checking up on them draws? Probably not. You got other draws to check on, probably. I don't know what Lorenz Tate's schedule is, but
He's a married man too. I'm
he's
not
a
saying
married
that
man.
badly.
Like it's these people are grown and adults now. Everyone ain't living that Will and Jada life. We clearly know where that life is being lived at.
They
Will
well
and
in a
Jada
way
house.
they kind of all well. Will and Jada are not. They're married, but they're spread out. Maybe Nia
I'm
and
not even
Ime need
I'm
to
not dipping
spread
my
out
foot.
too.
I'm not gonna try to classify none of what the fuck Will and Jada are. I have no idea, and we don't know. And
We
it's
kind of
funny
do.
how
We kind of
for
do.
so many years we
We
used to
put it
think
out
we
on
knew.
public.
Mhm.
They talk about it all the time. We kind of know what kind of life they living.
They talk about it, but there's so much underneath, and they try to be they try to be transparent. But I'm sorry,
That's
I
what.
just like there's so much we don't know. That mm,
That's kind of
yeah,
what their problem is. They're too transparent about some stuff. Some stuff needs to stay at home.
some stuff. Jada needs anyway. Back
Uh,
to my man, Sergi Boca.
come on,
Um, um, Ido,
Yume
Idalo,
Udoka.
Ido Yoka, Ido Yoka. All right, so Ido
Udoka.
Yoka. So he he about to be fumbly in a minute. That's because that's what the fuck he did. Because again, there's no explicit reason you can really what's popping, what's happening with you. Peace, and all
Hey,
the
hey, how you
peace in the
doing?
Middle East. Peace
That
to all
was
the gods on the earth.
okay.
Hey, hey.
Always stop
All
and
right, so I
commemorate when
tease up
somebody.
here. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and get to the other part, the main part of the show. We're gonna talk about the email thing for a little bit, but we're moving on. Let's get to the main topic of the show, which is this
Yeah.
woman king. Should I hate it or love it. And we're going to start off. We're going to give a couple minutes to give your initial response of what you think about the Woman King. Find the button. Okay. Who wants to go first?
Sparky, you just got here. Do you need a minute to get settled in? Or you
Probably. Let
want
me listen in. Like, let me get settled in while you start the first one. I'm ready to go though. I got my opinion.
Okay.
got you,
All right,
got you.
LT. I'll let you
All right.
go
I
first,
actually
LT. So,
I went as far as to leave a review on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm actually gonna try to pull that up right now
okay.
because I could just spitball it, but you know what I'm saying. Oh shit.
Well,
Hold
first tell us, did you like it?
Well,
Love
first I'm gonna tell you, yes, I love this film. Just
it?
like just initial thoughts going. Well, there was so much preparation for me going into it. I feel like I was a member of the cast. I I'm a millennial monster, so I wake up and I press that little blue bird just to see what's popping in the world. You know what I'm saying? Just see what's chirping.
Mhm.
Uh, and I saw Viola Davis, who I've adamantly I'm not even ashamed to I've had a crush on Viola Davis for about 16 years.
Okay. Well, I'm going to time you this. When you're
Oh,
ready to go, I'm going. Tell
oh,
me when
that's
you.
why I said I need to find my action. Well, you know what? My initial thoughts. I love the film. It is an amazing film. What's next?
Okay. So he loves it. You still looking for your notes?
Yeah, I'm looking for that actual comment I left on Rotten Tomatoes.
That might be. It must be a long comment.
Oh no, it's just man, people have been seeing this amazing film, and I left it like I want to say maybe the day after the day after I went to go see it, and yeah, it's been out for it's been out for some time now, it's been out now.
Looking through the stream of comments, there's like 1,000 comments.
Oh yes, there's out comments from 6 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. All right, so what are you asking? Like, do you want me to just tell you
Would
exactly? Do you want
you,
because we should we? Let's see. It's been out for a few days. Are we spoiling the film? Are we getting into the
just
nitty gritty?
I don't want you to spoil the film per se, or you can say spoilers. You can do that, but tell us why you love the film.
Okay, well, I can definitely tell you why I love the film.
All right.
I
All right.
love the
Go ahead.
film
Are
because,
you
like, well, oh,
go?
Go ahead.
I love this film for the exact same reasons that I love a film like Black Panther. It's something that you have never seen before, and then you almost tear up a little bit because you start to wonder why is seeing this so foreign to me? Like you like to see our culture, the origins of our culture, where we came from, the what is literally referred to as the motherland, to see early civilizations of us and our people represented with so much respect, with so much reverence, with so much regalness, and to see who we commonly refer to as the most mistreated people on this planet, black women, just held up in such a way that again we're not used to seeing. We're very used to, and no disrespect, because again, I love people like Meg Thee Stallion and JT, and well, I'm not gonna say I love this. I love Meg Thee Stallion. I love her. But yeah, like I love the sexual liberation that women are experiencing and able to express these days. But I also love that there are these images of strong, powerful women that what I'm saying they're warriors. They're outside of the quote unquote gender norm. And I gotta say, like slight spoiler, not really too much. I love the fact that yeah, there's slight, it's realistic. There's slight pushback from the men, but the competent men, the men that are in charge, understand the power and the usefulness, the resourcefulness of these women. He treats them with respect, and I think that's important for black men to see that these men fight alongside these women. And to go ahead and get the elephant out the room, yes, they address the participation in the slave trade. We're not we're our people are honest, and it was a great film. And because of that honesty, we got to see something we don't usually see.
Okay. All right, Sparky T, I'm gonna come to you next. Tell us first, did you love it or hate it? And then you can go on and tell us why you loved it or hated it. My fault. You can go on and tell us why you loved it or hated it.
Okay. I loved it. I thought it was a really good movie.
Okay. Tell us
Um,
why you loved it.
Are you ready? Go!
well, to piggyback off of what Trent said or what Trent said, I think that it was very empowering to see our women held in such esteem. I mean, the whole movie, it held our people up, and presented us in a way that we don't often see it. A lot of times, we're seen in a negative light, or it's always something negative. So it was really good to see the black woman held up. And then they had some generational stuff in there. There are quite a bit of things in the movie. I thought it was good. No spoiler alerts on my side, but I really did. I thought it was a good movie. I would definitely see it again and again. So it was good. I think every time I see it, I pick up something different. 'Cause I'm sure there's some things that I missed, but I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Good on that. All right.
Damn right.
All right.
But the
That's
homie.
it. Did I love it or hate it? The way it was presented, I'm going to have to say I did not like it. I hated it.
Are you ready? Go!
I'll tell you why. And LT spoke on it just a little bit there. Yes, they did speak on the atrocities that they committed in real life, but they only slightly spoke on it. They Disneyfied it. The Homie Tribe, which it was based on, let me first say, if this movie was just a movie, a standalone movie where it had no historical connection to it, I think the movie would have been great. I think it would have been a good movie. But the fact that they had historical connection to it, I couldn't get with the fact that they tried to pretty it up that the Dahomey tribe was a tribe that sold black people into slavery. They knew what they were doing. They actually not just sold, they kept black people in slavery, slaughtered them, put them into tribal. They sacrificed them into um, tribal events or whatever. Sold them, cut off their heads, cut off their genitalia, did all kinds of things to them, and they kept doing it for a long time. Matter of fact, the British had to stop them from selling black people into slavery when they abolished slavery. And I felt they tried to prettify that up and make it look like a good movie for the sake of selling tickets. And if it wasn't that historical connection to it, I think it would have been a pretty good movie. Then on top of that, yeah, it does tell a different story. And I do like the fact that they show black people in a different light and kings and queens and stuff like that. I don't know how empowering it is too much for the women. I mean, it's great to see them as warriors fighting side by side with men, but they also had to lose a side of femininity to them where those women could not have children. They couldn't have men. They had to become men and lose all types of feelings that would get rid of their femininity. And it almost, to me, it kind of parallels to what happens here in America. And I'll tell you why. Because right now, a lot of women are single and are doing it on their own without guys, and they're having to give up their femininity because the guys are not there, and they're having to take on the roles of men. That, to me, it seems kind of parallel what's happening in the movie. I don't see how that's empowering in that way. I can see how it's empowering to show that we are other things besides pimps and hoes and rappers and whatever like that. But other than that, there were some things I just didn't think was totally empowering. And I'll speak on this too, because again, I'll bring it back to the historical part. Lupita Nyong'o, who was in Black Panther, she played like the love interest of T'Challa. She was supposed to be the woman king in the movie originally, and then it went to Viola Davis. She had to drop out of the movie because she had did some background on her history. She has a documentary where she does some background on her history, and she came to find out that her people were caught and made slaves by the Dahomey tribe, and she's tearing up talking about it, seeing that my people were caught by these people and put into slavery. Why I cannot star in a role where this actually happened. And again, they did slightly touch on it, but to me, it felt like if there was a movie done about Hitler and they used Hitler to free the Jews from the concentration camp, and then when people were like, well, it's just entertainment. But something that big, you can't just put off as entertainment. It has such a huge historical context. You can't just kind of let that slide by. And I feel like that's what they did in this movie. They talked about briefly, but then they had Viola Davis, who was the woman king, kind of trying to talk to the king, like, we can't do this. We can't sell to these colonizers. Where they were the actual people who were kind of like the colonizers. They were the one who actually were keeping the slaves or selling them for money or other things of value. That's the part where I couldn't get with the movie. If it was just a regular movie, separate from having historical context, the movie could have been a pretty good thing. But I couldn't let that part go. Yeah. Anybody else got to say something? Want to say something?
Okay, because I was about it. It is just a regular movie. The Woman King character does well to address the Lupita Nyong'o thing. I know the exact story you're talking about, and it's I completely understand her reasoning for not wanting to participate in the role, and not to argue against her reasoning, but to argue against our or that kind of that logic that we apply on the outside looking in. Um, so why as a culture are we so horny about like Game of Thrones? Like why do we watch movies about the Civil War and the like we if we're not going to if we're going to downplay the downplay how good, just legitimately enjoyable of a movie this is because, the historical context makes it hard to enjoy. We shouldn't enjoy movies like 300. That is a movie where the 300 Spartans, a group of all white men, were fighting to protect their land, protect their freedom, protect their people, their women, their children from invading foreigners,
Mhm.
not expressing, wow, historically, guess what? Spartans owned slaves.
All right.
They fought against the Persians for hundreds of years. We've seen it in the movie, kicked them down the hole. This is Sparta and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want to be enslaved by the Persian Empire, Darius,
Okay.
Xerxes, all these niggas. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to be enslaved by the foreign brown people. Damn, it always comes back to us, don't it? But they didn't want to be enslaved and subjugated and conquered by the foreign brown people. So that movie, 300, and the sequel, because it was good, it was liked enough to get a sequel, were about the Greeks. Again, group of all male white men, naked white men. Another thing they leave out: all Spartans are bisexual, but that's neither here nor there. All white men fighting for freedom against a foreign invader to protect their land. It sounds a lot like what the Dohami was doing in Africa, defending against foreign invaders to protect their land. Now, back to the issue of the character of the Woman King. She is fictional. She is not real. Just like we can enjoy a video
But,
game like Kratos.
but
I mean,
it's
not Kratos, but we
it
can
is
enjoy
based
a
off
game
of
like God of War
she
set
is
in Greek
loosely based off of
mythology.
somebody though. She is loosely based off of somebody though. She is
Kratos from God of War is
when,
loosely based off of many Greek heroes, but
when-
that is still one of the best games in PlayStation history.
okay, we're talking about a video game in Greek mythology. Come
But
on.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking about mythology and I mean,
This is
to these
real though.
people, this actually happened in the movie. They mentioned Mauliza, who is the Ghanan god, or excuse me, woman and man god.
We're talking about the
So
woman
even though they're
king though.
talking, hmm?
We're talking about the woman king though. That's a real person they're basing it off of. This is real history. It's
No,
not
the
mythology.
Dohami tribe
Yeah.
is real history. The
So
woman
it's
king
not.
herself is
Yeah.
not a real that is a fictional.
The woman king is a real person.
Is it who
Based off
is
of a real
mentioned in the
person.
film? We
Loosely
need to.
based. Loosely based. It's based off of somebody.
So again, if we're, I mean, we not love the film Mulan, and Mulan is a real person. and is the movie not loosely based upon her? And there's real adaptations, there's fictional, like we get to interpret different adaptations of different things in different cultures, even when they're not that closely or that historically. Why are we turning to our movies to be historically accurate? Why don't we turn to history to be historically accurate? Because why are we now just talking about the Dohami tribe in 2022? Why has their history been erased? And that's why this movie isn't, that's why this movie and just enjoying it for the story at hand, for the narrative is important, because this is a narrative that's been suppressed
So
for centuries.
so
This is a
tell me,
narrative that they didn't want you to see. And they would rather you look at it from the frame of, oh, well, we shouldn't celebrate or we shouldn't admire this group of people because look what they did. The Spartans raped and pillaged
okay.
each other. Like that's literally what they did. We hailed the Greeks and the Romans, but they literally enslaved each other, they tortured each other, they stole each other's land, and we still hailed we hailed them, we hailed their gods. We love Zeus. Look at our monuments in Washington, D.C. They look like ancient Greek and Roman monuments. We hail these things in other cultures, but when it comes to our own, we shame it. Oh no, look at what they did. Look at what they did when during this time when certain foreign invaders were coming into their land and infecting them with it. I'm gonna play that advocate. They were infecting them with their white evil. Yep, fuck it. You want me to say it? I said it. White people made
So
us do it.
so you're saying because they did it, we should do it too. Are you
No,
saying
but
also
I love the line that, in slight spoiler, I love the line that I can't remember who said it in the film, but if you can convince someone that they are, or in a way to what is it? The way to subjugate people is to convince them that they are worth subjugation, convince them that they are, less than. And that's what these people would do. These foreigners from Europe and from Portugal, they would come over and they would talk to the kings and the queens. They would talk to people that wanted to keep their wealth, because again, these are armies coming over, or not even armies, but slight battalions with more advanced weaponry. They have guns, they have gunpowder. That's pretty much the two things you have in like the 1800s, guns and gunpowder and shit. But they have, more advanced weaponry, more money, more gold. So you want to trade. That's the nature of Africans. We were trading, we were doing business. And yes, sometimes there is immoral practices in business. We see it all the time. Look at how motherfucking what's my boy Amazon ball Jeff Bezos. Look at how he runs Amazon.
uh-huh.
Terrible business practices. But we let him cook. We still shopping on Amazon. Everyone knew that the slave trade was a terrible industry, but people were profiting off of it. There were kings and queens profiting off of it that didn't want to be enslaved themselves. Because again, a way to subjugate people is to make them feel like they are worthy of subjugation by elevating certain people and lowering other. You're a king, you're a queen, you're almost as good as me, a white person. You're close. We'll let you keep your kingdom and shit. Just give us like 20 of your men, 20 of your women, 40 of your children, and yeah, we'll give you some gold, give you some of our guns and shit. And yeah, you'll get to keep that kingdom and shit. And lesser kingdoms fell victim to it. It happens. It's the nature of humanity. Everyone is afraid when the things that make them comfortable are threatened.
I can't go with that because we know good and damn well if they made a movie, which they probably have in the past, and we probably persecuted, they made a movie about Christopher Columbus, and he happened to come over here and was trying to go and free slaves, we would be all over that. And we can't just say just because it's entertainment, we'll just let it go because it's not historical, it's entertainment. If they
There's
were
a
to make
movie called
a movie,
Abraham
No,
Lincoln
if they
Vampire
were to
Hunter.
make a
Like,
movie about Malcolm X, which they have, but in the movie, instead of Angela Bassett playing Malcolm X's wife towards the end, watching him get shot, they put a white woman instead, and she watches him get shot towards the end of the movie. Well, it's just entertainment. We know there's movies that play with history all the time, and they put little things different here and there. They take liberty with history. We know that it happens all the time. So no, you shouldn't look for movies to be 100% valid. But there is huge things like slavery that you just can't gloss over, and they did in this. They did this again, so to the fact that they called the white people colonizers, which they are, but you can't just say, well, they're colonizers and we didn't have a hand into it too. They were just as bad as the white people. Like again, the white people had to step in and tell them to stop selling slaves. There's nothing great about that history. And again, in Lupita Nyong'o, if she did not want to do the movie, which is supposed to be empowering to black people, if she did not want to do the movie, there's something wrong with that. I can't get with that. I can't go with these horrible comparisons where, yes, 300 did this stuff and they left some stuff out, but why does that make us, we're not in that position to do that. We can't compare ourselves to everybody else that's out there that has made their own movies like that, because we need to tell the story right. If we're going to tell a historical movie or historical story, put it as a movie, choose another tribe that didn't do this and that puts us in a good light. We are not afforded that, where we can just put any movie out there just for entertainment, because we know it's going to come back, and when people are going to shed a light onto it and they're going to go back and look at the past and see if it actually matches up. You know, that's what people are so mad about the movie now. They're going to look at it and say, well, shoot, y'all actually were worse than us. I mean, white
People don't give a fuck about that, because guess what?
they do. That's what
Everyone's still
about
going to
now.
celebrate. Everyone is still going to celebrate Thanksgiving this year, and we know what actually happened during Thanksgiving.
No, everybody's
So
not. Everybody's not. The same reason why
And
everybody's not.
everybody's not gonna go see the movie either. It doesn't have to be everybody. It doesn't have to be all or nothing.
I want
You
people to
know,
go see
just,
the movie, though.
I want people to go see the movie too. But that's just like how you said
Have your
about
own
Christopher
opinion.
Columbus. All the depictions of Christopher Columbus we know aren't right. When you talk to Latino people and they start talking about Christopher Columbus, they want to talk about how he came over here and raped their women and he did this and that. But when they're making movies and talk about him in history books, they ain't talking about how he out here raping people. They ain't
Mhm.
talking about that.
But
So
now,
don't make it don't make
yeah,
it seem like though that everything that they do about everybody else is always accurately depicted, because we know that's not true. And not because they did
no,
it wrong
proving my
means we
point,
should
though.
do it wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that just
Proving my
because
point.
they did it.
we get to focus on the story when it's other people. That's
But
what it is.
but you're
When it's
proving
other
my
people,
point.
we get to focus on it. We just get to have fun with, like, we know Pinocchio and all of these Disney movies are based on terrible, scary ass fairy tales. But we let children have them and consume them like they're fun and family friendly. So
That's a fact,
we're
right?
perfectly fine lying and accepting a story
But, but
in
we're
other
not.
narratives and other media, but it is lying because on
We're not fine
like,
with that, though.
but the thing is, like, they did mention it in The Woman King. They did mention, they
Slightly,
didn't just gloss
slightly.
over slavery. No, they had an actual scene where they depicted them saying, "Okay, we're about to give up a
Yeah,
group of our girls."
yeah. But they did
But
not
again,
show
because
what
this
they
is a
did.
fictional story. This is
It's
a
not, though.
fictional yes, the story that they're telling within the context of the movie is fiction.
No,
Just
yes,
like you can set a story
it's
based in
fictional
World
based
War
off of a
II,
real
you
thing,
don't
though.
have to take a story that actually happened in World War II. You can tell what is called historical fiction.
Okay, so you're telling me you're okay with people telling lies about Christopher Columbus, like you just mentioned. You're okay with
Yeah,
that.
because we've been listening to the bigger lies about
Are you
Christopher
okay? But
Columbus
are you
that
okay
have
with it,
been,
though?
again, we have been listening and conditioned and programmed and graded
It's
on
not
bigger
conditioned.
lies about Christopher Columbus. So we're not even getting the truth in terms of on an educational level. So yeah, in terms of entertainment, I would look at a movie where Christopher
So there's no
Columbus
problem.
comes over here and frees the slaves. I would look at this like, oh, someone really spent their money on a terrible satire. I didn't
Y'all
know
would be
Mad
going
TV
crazy
made
if that
movies.
happened. Y'all would be,
If someone did that, I would say I didn't know Mad TV made movies, because it would be laughable. Because we all know now, after we've unlearned the shit that we learned in elementary and middle school of what
Mhm.
Christopher Columbus actually is, there's nothing entertaining about him.
Why did
You
you
know,
have to unlearn it, though?
we
Because
had
it
to
was
unlearn it
presented as
because
history.
hmm?
Why did you have to unlearn it? Because it was presented as history. Just like all these movies we watch, they are presented as history. They are
I never
presented
watched the
as
movie on
somewhat
Christopher
accurate.
Columbus though.
Malcolm X, Christopher Columbus, any type of movie, autobiography, or about whatever happened in the past is presented as history. Yes, loosely based. This movie is included with that. And nobody would be okay if they put a white woman in the place of Malcolm X's wife in Malcolm X. We wouldn't be saying, well, that's just entertainment.
So
But
where did
that's
they
not
put a
loosely
where did they put a
based.
white woman in the movie? Where did they do that in the movie? They put a white woman instead of the black woman.
No, they didn't. I'm saying if they did, you wouldn't be okay with it. You wouldn't say, well, that's just entertainment. And I'm
But the
saying this
comparison you're
movie,
making is
but
way more drastic. Like Malcolm, and
what?
they did touch on this in the Malcolm X movie. He was out here fucking on them white hoes.
No. That's loosely based. Yes, I understand that. I'm talking about something that's fact. That Malcolm X was married to a black woman,
But
and
he
it
was
was
out here fucking on these white hoes, and that
he
was in the
was
movie.
too, and they based it on that. But they didn't know what happened in between, and that's where they
Oh,
took
yes, they
liberty.
did. That nigga was in
That's
jail.
fine.
Like this, it's a long ass movie, but
No,
all of
I
it is
know
in jail.
that. I'm talking about him, the conversations he had with the woman. They added that in there. That's loosely based. We don't know what kind of conversation they had, and they put that
But
in.
we don't know what happened. But we don't know what happened with the homies back then either.
Yes, we do. We do. It's in
Were
history.
you there? But Malcolm X
It's in
stuff was
history.
in history too. You said that we don't know what happened in between.
And
I mean,
yeah, like
there
there's a
are
movie
points
like
that
did
are
he
in
really
history,
play
but you
Russian
still
roulette?
don't know the in between. I mean,
That's in
Can I
history book.
can I ask what we're talking about?
Did the
Can I-
homie hold on? Did the homie tribe admitted they sold slaves? That's not conjecture. That's not a lie.
and in the
We know
movie,
that.
and in
And
the
in the
movie,
movie,
they
they
also
admit it as
depicted
well.
them as selling slaves. They didn't say that they didn't
But
do
they
that
did
in the
not
movie.
show that in
But
there. They didn't show
y'all
that
act
in there.
like y'all want the
So
whole
what's
movie
your
to be
you
about
want
them
them
selling
to
slaves.
you want
It
you're
shouldn't.
discrediting the
It's
music,
supposed to be a
or you're
movie about
discrediting the movie
Nazis
because they're not
killing
explicitly
Jews.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Everybody say they should be about the homies tribe selling slaves because that's mainly
Why
what they
is
did
that what the
to
movie
our
has to be
people.
about?
Why does that their
Just
whole
like,
existence though?
but
Like
the same way, like I don't want to see I don't want to see a good story about Nazis treating Jews good at some point. I'm saying, oh, we should save the Jews at some point because that would be a lie. I don't want to see a
But do
movie
you
about
a
not
that.
movie
think that there
like
was
True.
anybody that was in the Nazi thing that might have wanted to save the Jews?
Really though,
I mean,
that's
really
not
so a
though,
movie
what?
like Inglorious Bastards shouldn't work because there are movies that depict Hitler as a nice guy, as a happy guy,
There are
as a
people
funny
out there
And
that
guy.
think
that
he was a
is not
wonderful
something
leader.
that's a Quentin Tarantino film. Come on now, we're talking about something
Okay,
that's
see, that's
But
the
it's
thing. That's
still a
what we do.
film.
That's what we
Why
do.
you
that's not the
dismissing
same
it
thing.
because
Come
it's
on,
Quentin
come
Tarantino?
on now.
Oh,
Come
Quentin
on now.
Tarantino can get off with that. He can
He
put
can.
feet
'Cause
all up in his movies. He can get all. He can say
You trying to go
nigger
away
like
from
6
what
billion
they
times
actually
in
did.
Django, but like, come on, like
We know
boom, a film
Django
like
was real
Django.
though.
We know that slavery actually happened in Django, but
We
did
know
a
that.
nigga run around on a horse shooting at niggas while Rick Ross was playing in the background?
Yeah, because
No.
we know that's not something that's going to be close to historically based off of something that really happened.
Historical
It was
It's
fiction.
spaghetti
loosely
western. It's
based.
a spaghetti
Because
western.
there were abolitionist slave fighters. There were catcher freemans, if you will.
Yeah, it was, but this is a
Shout out
spaghetti
my nigga Nat
western
Turner.
versus this movie. That's not the same thing.
Yeah,
Come
but
on
see,
now.
it doesn't have to be as drastic. Like when you made the comparison of like saying replacing Malcolm X's wife with a white woman, we know that he was married to Mother Betty. But like in this movie, in The Woman King, they address their history in the
They
slave trade, and
address
again within the
that
narrative of
much.
this. But again, because within the narrative of this story, the focus is not on slavery; it's against fighting against slavery. This Woman
Which
King,
they did not.
the tale of this Woman King wanted to end it. The tale
Yeah.
of this Woman King wanted to show them to, and actually the thing you said earlier about them losing her losing her femininity, this was a movie about her getting it back. That was the focus of the film. That's what the narrative was based around. It wasn't
A
supposed to
lot.
be let's just focus on the slavery and stuff. We see that a lot. Like when we watch shows about Vikings and stuff, when we watch a movie like Thor, who is a Viking god, how come we don't see
Are you talking
Vikings
about
running
Marvel
around
now?
raping and pillaging?
You talking about Marvel? We're talking about a Marvel movie? You talking about Thor?
But these are things like anytime we watch a show like
Comic
Vikings, a
book.
show like Rome, a show like Spartacus, how come like we don't see all
There's
the
a
rape
Viking
and
show on
pillage?
Netflix right now as well.
And we are not afforded that because we don't have that many stories out. How about we get the story right when it's finally put out there? We don't have stories
How
like
about
this.
we get the story out there? Like
No,
you saying, get the
I'm
story
tired
right
of
before we
breadcrumbs.
put it out there. The
You want
story,
breadcrumbs. We don't. I'm tired of breadcrumbs.
this ain't
I
a
want the whole
breadcrumb.
meal.
This a
This is a
whole slice.
breadcrumb.
It's a loaf.
Ain't no damn loaf. Well, give us some meat with it too. and
It's loaf. This
the
is
right
2
meat.
hours and 2 minutes of loaf
Pork.
with
That's
garlic
all
butter
we
on
get.
it,
I know. I can't get with that. I'm just saying
honey butter.
we can change little things in movies. I get that, but they're using that movie to praise them as heroes in the movie. And again, I don't know how
They
if
might have been
if
heroes to
Lupita,
somebody
if
though.
Lupita Nyong'o can see that. I don't understand how y'all can't see it. Why can't she just say, well, it just people take
So if that's
historical
the
movies
case,
all the time.
we as black people, we should watch nothing that white people do because white people
You
enslaved
keep
us.
going to the what ifs. I'm talking about
No,
this
that's not
movie.
what if. We shouldn't watch or support anything that white people do because white people enslaved us.
Don't watch it
Why
then.
would why would we
What
do
about
white
this?
people things? Like why would we watch shows like Seinfeld? Why are we doing that? Like why are we
What does it have to
acting
do
with
with this
them?
a historical movie? That's not even connected to this.
Because it's out of historical context because again,
Seinfeld.
these things actually happened to her and her family, correct? So
Seinfeld.
why
Yeah.
would Jamie Foxx take a movie where he plays a slave into Django?
That's not based off of
Excuse me, the
that's,
D is
that is not
silent.
a real character, sir. We're talking about the Dahomey tribe.
Okay, but okay,
Seinfeld
and
is not a real
some of the
character.
people in this movie were not real people.
It's
Like
based off
everyone
of
in this
real
movie was
tribe,
not a
though.
real person. Like that little wavy haired, light skinned dude.
It's
I'm pretty
based
sure he
off
was
of a
not a
real
real
tribe.
person.
Again, small things you can put in there, but something as big as the transatlantic slave trade is a huge thing to talk about. That's not just some
And
little
we are
small thing you
talking
can just
about it.
gloss over.
We're
And they
talking
talked
about it
about it.
now
Again, it's
because
not
they made the movie.
But they're
Had they not
showing
made
them
the movie,
as
we wouldn't even be sitting here having this conversation.
yeah, but we're talking about a lie though, because they're also showing them as heroes towards the end of the movie, and
because
they
you
are
know
not
what?
heroes.
Why do we want a
They
movie
may
to
not have been
show us
heroes to everybody,
Why do
but
they
they might
want to
have been
show them as
heroes to some
heroes?
people.
Why would we
why
need to
do
show
we
them as heroes?
why not hero instead of slave or slave trader? Like why is that the movie that we need out right now? Instead of
Because we don't have
showing
it.
us as heroes, show us as the slave or the slave trader.
We don't
Because
have
that's
a
what we
hero.
really were. Y'all was really slaves and slave traders. That sounds like here goes this movie, niggers. Enjoy. Here.
That's what
That
it
just
sounds
sounds
like. This movie sounds just like that.
no,
Breadcrumbs.
this movie sounds like look at your history. Look at the things.
Oh no! Don't
Look
look at the history because it's not true. You just said this is not. Don't look at the history because it's a movie.
historical fiction. It's a okay. So if it's not true, how come you can't enjoy it?
Oh, okay. Well, tell Lupita Nyong'o that.
I'll
Oh, it's not
I'll
true.
try
It's
to
not
tell
true.
myself not to enjoy Django because
She
I
didn't
do
have to.
have
No.
connections to being a
Why?
slave,
Tell Lupita Nyong'o that then. It's
But
just
Lupita
a
didn't have
movie.
to be in the movie. It is
and she
just she
They
didn't
didn't.
have to be in
asked
the
her to be in
movie,
the
and
movie.
she okay, but she chose to bow out.
Why?
She
Why
didn't have.
though?
She didn't
Why though?
because she didn't like what it brought up in her. She didn't like what had
Why,
happened to her
why though?
family and what.
Yeah, why
It's
is her
just a
personal choice
movie.
ours?
It's just a
What do
movie
you
though.
mean? Right? It is just a movie.
So why?
There's nothing.
So
Hold
why
on.
is her
There's
attitude
nothing that
okay?
you've ever seen in a movie that offended you or that offended the way
Okay.
that it was depicted. That doesn't mean that the movie should necessarily take place because it offends me. I mean, damn, there might be somebody else that didn't offend. There might be. It's
Okay.
like how
Well,
you
why
say
is it
that
not
they were.
offending you? Is the question.
Why should it offend me?
Because
I mean, why should
the
it
same
offend
reason
me?
why you're telling me it shouldn't offend her. It's
I
just a
didn't say it
movie.
should or it. I didn't say that it should or it
Y'all,
should. That's up to her
you
whether
guys
to
are
offend
telling
somebody.
me
Yeah, like
you
it's a
guys are
personal
telling me
thing if
it's
she
just
gets
a
offended
movie.
and she elected to not do the film. That's fine.
But
Why do
why
we have to
though?
make her
It's just a
okay? But
movie.
why her personal reason is not ours? Everyone cannot
It
personalize
is.
her reason.
That's the
That's
No,
like
problem.
if
it's not.
somebody
No, it's not. No, it's not.
What's her
You
y'all
just said
reason?
it
no,
is.
we do
It's
not
not.
have the
That's
Reason.
same
her
experience that
personal reason.
Lupita Nyong'o
What's
has.
what's her reason?
Her reason is because it actually happened to her people. She is actually from the
That
continent of Africa.
we're not. No, actually, she's not. She was born in Mexico.
No, but she is actually from no because I watched all the Black Panther
She's
press
born
junkets.
in
She
Mexico.
is you can I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna Google it.
Go
Nope.
ahead. Go ahead. Her
That's
family
the case.
was born in
What
Africa
is her personal connection to it then? If she's
because
Mexican,
her ancestors were in there, just like
okay,
your
and my
ancestors could have been in there.
your ancestors were slaves, but we grew up on films and TV series like Roots, where we
But
watched us be portrayed as slaves already. There's a film called
and they
Till, or
sold
no,
us to
excuse me.
slaves.
There's a film called Emmett coming out about Emmett Till. Guess what? I'm a young black man. I've been 15 before, and guess what? I've whistled before. So that's something that I can personally relate to. Should I be offended that this film is coming out? Should I hate this film because it's coming out? Like, should other people
Would you be okay if he
go
sexually
behind me and
harassed
say,
a white
yeah,
woman in the movie?
because you have a problem with this film being made, we should have a problem with this film being made? Because again, there's films like Mississippi Burning, where it's literally just Ku Klux Klan this and Ku Klux Klan that. Films like A Birth of a Nation, not the new one that depicts the
No,
uproaring of Nat
not
Nat
that
Turner,
horrible old
but
one.
the
No.
original one from the 50s that also, again, depicts
Entertainment. Just
like
a movie.
okay, so just the movie in terms of these other senses, but when it comes
You
to
didn't like
this
it, though.
movie, oh no, it has to be right. It has to be 100%
No, I never
accurate. It
see.
has to be
I haven't said
historically
100%.
factual. But that's what you're saying. You're
No, no, no,
saying
I'm
that
not.
this movie
No, I
has
didn't.
to focus
No,
on nothing
no,
but the
I did not say
transatlantic
that. I did
slave
not say
trade.
that. I
Yes, you
said,
did.
no, I didn't say 100%. I didn't say they had to focus just on the slave trade, but that needs to be part of the movie and not
It
be,
was.
not
Was
just,
part
no,
of
it
the movie.
wasn't. No, it
Yes,
wasn't.
it
Like,
was.
no,
It
it
was.
wasn't. No,
Was.
wait,
The
Yes,
wait.
thing
it
is, I'm
was.
trying not to spoil it, but yeah,
No,
like I've already said as much. It was like
I
I've given
watched
you
it
some.
too. I watched it too. It talked a
You
little bit about
died.
it, and they also
Okay,
made
but
them
you can't say
heroes
it
at
talked a
the
little
end
bit
of the movie.
about it. You
I
can't
didn't say
say
they
it talked a
didn't.
little bit about it and
I
then
didn't say they
say
didn't.
that your issue with it is it
If you
didn't touch
rewind
on
what
it
I
enough.
said they talked about it slightly, and they also
Okay.
made them heroes at the end of the movie, and made the white people as the complete enemy at the end of the movie when they actually are the enemy's part of also as well. The white people also had to be the people to tell them to stop doing slavery in real life. So if you're going to tell a story, you got to at least come close to being accurate. I'm not asking for 100% accuracy because I know every movie doesn't do that, as you laid out and as I've laid out. But that is not something small you can just gloss over. I'm sorry. If they made a
Okay,
movie
so
about
Lupita
Emmett
Nyong'o
Till,
can't do this
I think
movie
you're
because
all
her
right.
ancestors were
I
tied
think
to
all of
it.
y'all are right. I think all of y'all are right.
if they made a movie about Emmett Till and then they showed him
I mean, valid point.
sexually harassing a white woman, people would be up in arms. I mean, I can't say, well, they're just taking small liberties. No, I need the story, at least for that part. I need that to be told right. If you want to take liberties with maybe small
But see, you're
conversations
picking
you
the
have with
biggest
mom,
part of a film. You're
that's
picking
that's
the
a huge
biggest
deal.
part of a narrative. You're picking the biggest part of it and wanting that to be the focus. And then you're turning it upside down. You're saying, what if they made a Martin Luther King? You're doing the exact same thing that the white people were doing when we said, what if a mermaid
It's
was black?
wrong. It's wrong.
You're doing
though.
that exact same thing. You're pretty much saying, well, what if Malcolm X was played by a white man?
And you would
Like,
be mad. And you cannot sit there and say you would not be mad if they took that big part
because
out
you're
of the movie.
changing the essence and the core of the
Just like
character
this.
to literally not even make the story better, to not do anything for the story, but to literally just say, look at what we did. Again, the point of this film was the story. You say that you wanted them to touch on the slave trade. They did. And you keep saying that, well, they only did a little bit, but you said that all you said was you wanted them to do so.
No,
and
I didn't. I didn't say all I wanted to do. Now you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say all I wanted them to do was just touch on it. Not touch on it. Tell the truth.
So now you're saying,
Tell the truth.
go ahead and
100%
correct me if
either.
I'm wrong, but you're saying that you want the entire film, or okay,
No,
I guess I'm
didn't
being
say that either.
extreme.
You
How
again.
much of the film do you want to focus?
No, I want them to tell the truth.
Percentage-wise,
I
how
know
much of
there's
the
no
film should have been
percentage-wise.
about the slave trade to you?
Tell the truth. Don't sit there and make you out to be
They told the
heroes
truth.
at the end of the movie. No, they did not. They did not tell the truth and they made themselves to be heroes at the end of the movie by that time.
Because they are
made the right
heroes.
people.
This
How are
story was a
heroes
story
supposed to
about
be
heroes.
How?
In this narrative, did you not? You're saying you saw the film, but you didn't see
Yes.
the film.
I saw the film.
The movie tells you how they were heroes in the context
They
of this
were never
film.
heroes
Because
by
again,
killing black
if we
people.
can say that other movies are just a film, why can't we look at this as just a film? In the context of this movie, what they did was heroic. So they are heroes.
How did they do it? How did they become heroic?
Because you keep wanting to go back to actual history to say, well, that's why the movie is
about them.
But you don't want to do that with other movies. With other movies, you keep saying, well, that's just Quentin Tarantino.
You keep putting words in my mouth. I haven't said anything like that. I've given you examples. I'm
You
giving you
said, all
examples.
right,
You
all
keep
right,
talking
all right.
about 300. I didn't say anything about 300. That was you bringing that up.
But you said these
Yeah,
are
but
just
you did
movies.
dismiss another movie though that because it was done by Quentin Tarantino, like you got to count that
Because
one out
that's not a
automatically.
movie
It's not.
that's based off of something historical like that.
It
That is
is slavery is
very.
historical.
That was a comedy, of anything. If you want
That
to
was
say
a.
it.
It was not. First off, that was a
Django
western.
was a comedy.
That was a spaghetti western. First and
Yes, with
foremost,
comedy elements.
action,
That was not a
drama,
Because they tried
romance.
to make fun
Woman
of
King was
something.
not
They
based
tried to
off of
make
that.
it funny.
The Woman King had comedy in it. Is that what you're saying?
Woman King
Say
had
that.
moments of levity, not a comedy. Just like
No,
Django,
I'm tripping.
moments of levity, not a comedy.
So you'll be okay with any story being told. Gotcha. It doesn't matter, long because you're saying this. It doesn't have to be historical. It doesn't have to be. I know I'm not asking for 100% accuracy again, but something as big as that. Yes, I want it to be accurate to a degree. It
So
doesn't
you're
have to be
saying you want a movie
100%.
about slavery? You could watch Amistad. They spend that whole movie on the ship.
And I don't like it. But if they were to put on that thing where they killed all those people on Amistad and they never made it away, I'd have a problem with it because that's a huge part of history. That's what I'm saying. You can't take something that big away.
How big a part of history is this for you? Again, why is this the element of history that you want to see displayed? Why do you want to see the slave? I want to see the black people enslaving each other. That's the important part, and that should be a good percentage of the movie, I'm guessing, is what you want to make the film a good film, in your opinion?
No, just don't make it at all. How about that? How about
Just
making it
don't
about
make it at
something
all.
else?
So
How
either
about making
tell
a
the
different
story
movie?
that vilifies us, or don't tell the story at all.
No, tell a story that we could be heroes in. Why do we, again, you're
We
going
did.
with breadcrumbs. No,
We
no,
did.
no.
We told a story we could be. We told a story that we could be a hero in.
You're telling me there's no other story out there where there's not a tribe that didn't enslave black people? There's
Getting
nothing.
this film made again.
There's
The
nothing.
fact that we're
That's what
so
you're telling
quick
me.
to close the
That's
door
correct.
on this film and say how we're so against this film because it didn't do that. Now that next film doesn't get made.
If they could,
Because
they could make a
because let
difference.
me guess, the first black film that ever came out, that was just gold, right? Like I'm gonna get you sucker still holds up today, right?
Actually,
You know what I'm saying? Are you laughing at it the same way? No,
Yes, I am.
Come on.
I love
So,
it. One of
are
my
you
favorite movies.
watching? So, which version of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner are you watching?
I didn't really watch either one. I didn't care for either.
The point that I'm making, you're being facetious, goddammit, and I'm not fucking with you.
No, I'm not.
Like, the point that I'm making is the fact that we are so willing to say fuck this because they didn't do it right. They didn't do it the way we feel like it should have been done. You're not going to get that next film about the next tribe because why make it? You niggas can't appreciate shit. That honestly, y'all niggas,
we can
you
appreciate
niggas,
shit. That's the problem.
y'all want
We
more.
appreciate
You know what we gonna do? We just gonna give 50 Cent the keys to Hollywood, and we just gonna tell him to sell his life story like 16 more times.
Just make anything. Just
Or Tyler Perry.
Be the first.
Those are gonna be our options in the future. It's gonna be like Power Book 57 or Tyler Perry's Medea's House of Boo Family Reunion 2.
I don't want that either.
That's where we're gonna go, because anytime we try to do something different, anytime we try to take those elements of our history that are a little dark, are a little dirty, are a little grungy, and try to do something imaginative with them, try to do something to inspire ourselves with them, we do this. Oh, it wasn't historically accurate. It wasn't. It didn't tell the real. It didn't tell the real shit. We've been listening to lies. How many times? Again, it seems like we talk about this every episode. Jesus has been white my whole life.
And do we like that?
Do we say anything about it?
Yeah, we do. You say
do
something.
We do anything about
y'all
it?
Ain't boycotting. Y'all not boycotting churches.
Jesus.
They got white Jesus in there. Stop telling them lies. Y'all are not boycotting churches.
You mean everybody or it's not somebody?
Y'all want historical accuracy from this damn movie, but y'all don't even ask for historical accuracy from the Bible.
Who is not doing that? I was like, who y'all talking about? I don't ask. I have a black Jesus in my house right now.
Okay, but you're saying you're personalizing it. We're speaking in general. Just because you have it doesn't mean, and you damn know that generally speaking, a lot of niggas don't want to say it.
You're right. You're absolutely right, and I agree with both of you. But that don't make it right because they're doing it. And I'm trying to preach against that. I don't want people to generalize and want just white Jesus put everywhere and agree with that. The same way I don't want this movie made the way it's been made. What was
Nope,
my
I want this movie made the way it was made.
What was my first argument when I talked about this movie? Why I said I would have loved it. What did I first say when I said I would have loved the movie?
If they talk more about the slave trade.
No, see? That's not the first thing I said. I said if it didn't add the historical context, if it was just any tribe, they just created it, imagine it, and do it.
Nope. And you know what?
Story.
That's some
I
bullshit.
would
That's
have
a
been
bold
fine
face
with it.
lie. That's a bold face lie because here's what niggas would do. Niggas would be just like, they could have picked real tribes. Look at
You mean
all
like
these
Black
other real
Panther?
tribes they could
What do
have
you think
picked.
Black
Because
Panther
you
was?
niggas don't appreciate shit.
Don't you? Do you know this movie is loosely based on Black Panther too?
They should have never get. First off, Black Panther is loosely based on these niggas.
Well, okay, you can say that too. Okay, I'll give you
No,
that.
not even I
I'll
can
give
say
you
that. Again,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But either way, what that was a good. That's imaginary.
But we're okay with that. We're okay with that.
And it's imaginary. It's imagined. It's imagined. Black Panther is not
It's
real,
imagined.
and we were able to accept that. If we could have done that with this film and not connected the homie tribe with it, I said at the beginning I would like the movie. I said
Well, you
that
know what?
at the
The
very
Passion
beginning.
of the Christ is one of the highest grossing R-rated films of all time. I mean, people took their children to see this gory
That doesn't
ass
make it
film.
right.
And guess what? It depicts a white Jesus.
That
And
doesn't
no,
make it
that was
right.
nobody had that problem with the film.
Who?
That was nobody's problem with the film. And that is not
Nobody or some
historically
people?
accurate.
Nobody or some people.
Nobody. That was not
You
anyone's problem with
you
the
didn't
film.
have a
Yeah,
problem
you
with
can say we as black people had a problem with the film, but guess what? That didn't stop people from going out and seeing and supporting the
Go
film.
see it. But that
Because
doesn't mean I
people that
can't have a
said,
problem with it.
I want to know more about Jesus, or I want to see an I guess an entertaining story about Jesus, said, I want to go see this film. And it wasn't even accurate. It was literally just 2.5 hours of this man being tortured, which Christians for some reason think is the main element of Jesus, just him carrying a fucking boulder through Nazareth, which is the nigga had 33 years before that shit. 20 of them is missing. But
okay. But I think that's a big, if you want to say that's a big thing they missed out of the movie and making him white and not making him black or any other color.
a movie like Glory,
I'm fine with
like
that.
a movie like Glory that takes place in the Civil War.
Mhm.
Did these niggas exist? Were they real? No. But shit like that did happen. They did throw black men on the what was it? Or were they on the Confederate side or either side? They would literally just use us as human shields.
Mhm.
Should we not participate? Should Denzel Washington have said, you know what, my history and my lineage as a former slave, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't play this.
But where did they make him like a hero when he wasn't a hero?
When he was getting whipped in the eye, in the cry, nigga, the tear, literally getting whipped, something that is not cool, something that you don't want to happen to you. I'm not walking outside. I'm not going into the streets. Hey, yo, man, I just got whipped good than a motherfucker, man. I can't wait. Like, no, but we showed this black man getting whipped in a triumphant way. That single tear falling from his eye as he's just.
But where was he an evil guy? I'm saying, and he was made a hero.
What do you mean, where was he an evil guy? I'm talking about the evils and atrocities that are happening at the time of this movie because it's taking in a real time, but we're focusing on the heroic element. They're focusing on and guess what? The main part I'm thinking about, the part in the movies where they have the white character who acts like the white savior. I'm going to trust these black guys. I'm going to take care of them. I'm going to make sure these black guys get respect. When in actuality, we know that all the white people involved were most likely treating these niggers hard ER like shit and probably making them handle literal shit.
Mm-hmm. So again, if you're comparing this to The Woman King, where I say they are making them heroes when they were evil people, you're comparing this to Glory with Denzel. Where was he an evil guy?
I'm comparing it to the Matthew Broderick's character.
Broderick, yeah.
And yes, boom, Matthew Broderick's character in Glory. The white man, I can't remember if it's the Union or the Confederate side that he's on.
Union is the good side.
The Union is the good side. honestly, none of these white people are good because, as we know, Abraham Lincoln didn't give a fuck about the slaves. It was just honestly to destabilize the South, which he was successful out. So, shout out to you, Abe. Um,
Fall
but
out.
yeah, Matthew Broderick plays a nice white military colonel, whatever the fuck. I call bullshit. I don't think there was a nice white military colonel to these niggas because again, you're using them as a human shield. You don't care about these niggas' lives. You don't care about their family. This nigga Trip, man, he ain't even got shoes. He ain't even got shoes, and he out here on this fucking battlefield fighting and dying for somebody freedom. Probably not even his because he might not make it back. And he didn't. Spoiler alert. And you want me to believe that this white man was nice to them? You want me to believe in the white savior? Fuck all that.
Mm.
But we let that movie cook. That movie got an Oscar nod.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Denzel got it for best supporting Oscar, I think. I don't know if the movie itself got the Oscar, but yeah, he had to get whipped to get best support. He got whipped to get best supporting actor.
Mm-hmm.
He had to be a slave. So again, if you want slave movies, there's plenty. And again, back to Lupita Nyong'o, she had a problem playing in this role. She was definitely in 12 Years of Slave.
Mm-hmm.
Does she not have lineage of being a slave?
Mm-hmm. All right. Am I supposed to like that though, just because she did it?
Okay, but
are you supposed to dislike this just because she didn't?
I'm supposed to like it because I didn't like what they did. You're telling me I
understand
shouldn't
that,
because
but
it's a
your
movie.
point, no. You said, am I supposed to like it just because she did? But are you supposed to
say
dislike it just because she didn't either?
I didn't say just because.
I mean, there's German
just
niggas
because. I gave you a reason why she didn't want. I named why I didn't like it. I added on her. She was supposed to be in the movie. And
and back to Denzel being an evil nigga on some real shit.
History behind it.
Back to Denzel being an evil nigga, real life shit. I don't care what nobody say. Frank Lucas, the way American Gangster made him look to me was heroic.
Mm-hmm.
Because them cops, Ricky.
Disagree.
Them cops, Richie. I want them cops. They slapped his wife. They told his mama to shut the fuck up. They bust in his house. They stole his money. They shot his dog. They stole from him all his life.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get into a Denzel right now. Hey, look, put the bag down. Put the bag down. I'll tell you this right now. But Frank Lucas, Denzel Washington's character in American Gangster, was not a good person. He was evil. This is a man that we all know if you're from North Carolina. He poisoned his community. Him and his brothers, them country ass niggas. But in the context of the film, we are shown Frank Lucas through a lens of him having to do what is necessary to survive. Him being in a concrete jungle like New York was said to be in the 60s and 70s under the wing of the late great Bumpy Johnson. Shout out my nigga Bumpy Johnson. But yeah, just having and telling that story to Richie. You know what normal is to me, Richie? Normal is police officers coming to my house and putting a shotgun in my daddy's mouth and pulling the trigger. Wait. If I had a cup, if I had a cup of coffee, you think I care about the?
When I watch American Gangster, I didn't see him as a hero. I just see him. They told a story about this guy who sold drugs.
Every villain is the hero of their own story.
Yeah, well, that is true too, depending on your perspective. But back to Lupita Nyong'o talking about 12 Years a Slave, that did not shy away from the atrocities that slaves went through. Yes, she played in the movie, but they didn't play nice about that movie either. Not like I feel like this movie, Woman King, did.
This movie ain't play nice either. There was a literal,
I'm sure they did,
gang rape line outside of the TP.
Mm-hmm. The homie tribe sure did play nice.
Like, spoiler alert, there is a whole live rape baby walking around in this movie.
People wanting to, again, talking about this is empowering the Woman King thing. If you're saying they touched on it like they touched on it, what is so empowering about that?
It's empowering the same way that because it's real. The same way we're saying that it's real and it's not real, because these things are true and their symbolism it's happening all around us. We do see women having to sacrifice their femininity because men aren't stepping into their masculinity the way that they should be, or they're indulging too much in their masculinity and it's leading them to savagery. It's leading us to war. it's leading us to, you know, putting our own people in bondage. So there are things that, you know, it's relevant, and it shows us that how these
It is.
things are still relevant today, that if we don't pay attention to history, we are doomed to repeat it. We're living in these same times. So it's empowering because no one is perfect in this world. One of my favorite quotes, or like just poems and just excerpts from Tupac, is "The rose that grew from concrete." You know, that you as you go through life, you accumulate scars. That does not make you any less worthy of a purposeful life.
Mhm.
I love that in the Woman King specifically, just to get into her character. Something about these women, they're supposed to be pure. They're supposed to be virginal. You know what I'm saying? No one has supposed to have entered their vaginas.
Right.
But this was a woman that, spoiler alert,
Oh, don't
was
tell that.
raped.
Don't tell that. Oh.
Uh, I,
Well, you said spoiler alert, so don't you tell it. You
I
said
said
spoiler
spoiler alert.
alert. You said it. You said it several times, so. Ugh.
Something was taken from her,
I
and
and you know, I thought that was I thought that was a good part of the movie. Again, I don't hate the storyline. I thought this movie would be great. I just don't like the other part where it adds history to it. If it was just something they created, fine. And that's something to be proud of. I would have been fine with that. Or if they added a different tribe that didn't have this background to it, I would be fine. I'm
you
fine
can say
with it.
that shit, but like that's how myths and legends get created. And
Give us a
it's
myth.
a
Give
black
us a myth.
damn time that we've had some black myths and legends. Like everything that nigga Heracles, aka Hercules, did wasn't he ain't do all that shit for real. He ain't hold up the sky and the universe and shit. But we tell that story and expect to see it in stories about him
I would have been
because
fine
that's
with it.
what we've heard. That's what we know. That's what we want to see. You don't really want to see Hercules. Do you want to see him murder his wife and children? Do you want to see him have sex with men like he really did? Do you want to go for real?
Just don't
Do you
play
want
it
to go
safe
to
at
a
all.
movie and see Heracles have sex with men because he had just as many male lovers as he had female lovers? How
Yeah,
much of
I
history
don't
do
want
you
to
want to
see
see
that.
when you go to see these historical fiction movies?
I don't want to see it all. It's like I don't want to see slave movies.
This wasn't a slave movie.
I
This was an
know. I'm just
action
saying.
film.
I
This was
know.
a warrior film.
Right.
This was brolic ass girl power. This was motherfucking like all, like if the Amazons from Wonder Woman was if they had clothes on.
Yeah. But to me, it was a lie. It was something we could have made separate from the Dahomey tribe. It could have been made science fiction, whatever. Kind of like Black Panther, science
Well,
fiction.
we got Black Panther, so we don't. So that's why this story can exist. When you make movies like Black Panther, because people were mad about that too. Keep in mind, people were, oh, this is such bullshit. There was a large percentage of people that account for a lot of
Large.
Disney and Marvel's big dollars, because
Mhm.
again, like there's more white people in the world than there are of any other person. So a lot of them, a good amount of them are racist. So there are a lot of them that did not like Black Panther simply because it's a predominantly black cast.
I'm sure.
And they didn't like
That's
the
why they don't
idea
like
of
Little
a
Mermaid.
Afro. They don't like the idea of Afrofuturism. They didn't
Yeah.
like the idea of imagination.
They don't
So
like the Little Mermaid.
just
We
because
talked
that
about
film
that
was
last
able to
week.
get made, now we can delve into our history with imagination. Now we can put the now we can start
Delve
focusing
into it.
on other things and other topics. It doesn't all have to be drug dealing stories.
Great. Delve into it, but delve into it right. Or delve into a good history. Delve into a good story. That's
Man,
all.
fuck that. I've been watching Martin Scorsese make movies about terrible people. I love Goodfellas. Don't get me wrong. And Henry Hill is a terrible motherfucker, apparently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Henry Hill definitely said nigger a lot. But whenever Goodfellas comes on, I know every single word.
Mm-hmm.
I do that fucking Karen. Why would you do that, Karen? R.I.P. my man Ray Liotta.
Okay. That's to me, that's
These are
small.
terrible people. These are
Yeah,
terrible people and real people. Henry Hill is a real nigga. Is a real person.
this
But
is
that
this is
film,
small.
he is the hero. He is the protagonist. Is he not?
Mm-hmm. This is very small compared to what the
It's
Dahomey
not very
tribe
small.
did.
This is recent. That was recent American history. That
The
nigga.
Dahomey tribe transatlantic slavery is very small. What you're talking about is very small compared to that. It's
What
nothing
I'm talking
that
about
take away
is
from that.
I'm talking about it's just as large because again,
Not just as large.
we
No.
want to highlight it when it comes to us. But why
Yeah,
don't we
because we need
highlight
to care
all of
about
it when it
us,
comes to
our
them?
image. Yes, we need to care about our image that's put
So
out there.
why is the image that we so our image so again, you're saying that that movie shouldn't have been made because they didn't make the focus of it the Atlantic slave trade.
No, it should have been made, period.
That's what I just said. That
And it can
movie
make a
shouldn't have
whole
been
different
made
story.
because
Yeah,
they weren't going to
because
make the
they told
focus
a
of it the
lie.
transatlantic slave
Yeah,
trade.
because they told a lie. Because people are going to look at this and take it as the gospel. The gospel's
Well,
truth.
then if that's the
Well,
case, then
that's
people
people's
should
stupidness. Then,
thank you. Yeah, like
if you
we
watch
shouldn't.
something on, if you watch a movie, you watching TV or whatever, you taking that as your gospel. Well, that's your foolishness.
And I'm
I like
glad
this
you
one
said
too.
that because if that's the case, motherfuckers need to stop watching Jeffrey Dahmer right now. All you sick sons of bitches. If that's the case, because what you just said, you keep saying I'm putting words in your mouth for what you said. People are gonna watch this and take it as the gospel, God's honest truth. People need to stop watching Jeffrey Dahmer because now
People are proud
everyone.
of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Hell yeah, I got a problem with Jeffrey Dahmer. He
No, I
ate
said
black men.
people are proud of Jeffrey Dahmer, like they're proud of this movie.
We're trivializing it.
Who is proud of Jeffrey Dahmer?
The people making memes, like
The white people are proud of Jeffrey Dahmer, saying we want to be like Jeffrey Dahmer
why is this a movie being made?
because it's telling a story, and people love salacious stories about
Real
murderers and
life.
stuff. People love looking at stuff about murderers.
So we can champion a
And they
You
movie
told
claim
about
that the women of the movie were murderers, that they weren't heroic, they were villains and they were murderers. So you said
yeah,
people like
like
movies made about
these are
murderers.
more
So
heinous
they
villains.
get
Like these
Jeffrey Dahmer is
Jeffrey
told as
Dahmer
a
was a
villain,
heinous
though.
ass villain ass nigga.
Y'all ain't making. Jeffrey Dahmer was told as a villain, though. Weren't.
He's told as the protagonist. This is
No,
his
he was
story.
not. Come on now. He
This
was
is
not called a
if
protagonist.
he is the
of that movie.
main character, he
That doesn't
is
make
the
him a
protagonist.
You know what
I'm
protagonist does
guaranteeing you
not
he
he's
out
mean.
the
here eating
protagonist.
motherfuckers. Y'all ain't even making him a villain. You know what I'm saying? He got a whole damn Netflix. Come on, man.
That does
Well,
not make him the
it's literally
protagonist.
called
That makes him the main character of the movie.
the protagonist.
That's not the main character just because you're a protagonist.
No, yes, it does. When
What
you
does
are
the
the main
protagonist does not
character, the
mean main
person that
character.
when you are the person that we are following, you are the protagonist. The antagonist is the person trying to stop the protagonist from achieving their goal. This is a series about this nigga Jeffrey Dahmer kidnapping, fucking, eating, and not
Eating.
always in that order, kidnapping, fucking, and eating niggas.
Okay,
So he is the protagonist. We are following his story.
Protagonist, hero or heroine of a drama or other literary work or movie. That is the definition. He was not the hero of that movie or series.
It is his story, isn't it? So who's the hero?
He's not the hero.
Who's the hero then?
The people that put him behind bars.
The people. So why are we not telling the story from their perspective? So
They
by
did.
your logic, this
They did.
series shouldn't be made because we're not our main character isn't the cop who arrested Jeffrey Dahmer.
What are you talking about? I said I did not like the Woman King because they did not tell the bad parts of the story.
They did
They
though.
did not.
That's
If you're
what we're
going to
saying. They
make the
did.
movie, but they did tell the bad parts about Jeffrey Dahmer.
And
What
they
are you
even
talking
acknowledged
about?
the thing you said in the beginning when you said
They did not
they
tell
cut
the
off
story
people's.
about that.
When you
They
said they
talking
were
about
cutting
fighting
off
white
people's
people.
heads and putting it on display, they said,
They
"Well, people
no,
think that,
they
but
did not
we
fight
actually."
off white people the way they were talking about. They're supposed to have the historical context to it. They made the white people look at the evil people in there when they were the evil people in the movie. They
Oh,
did
I'm
not tell
sorry.
the
So
story
when
that
did
way.
white people not be the evil people during the transatlantic slave trade? So it's like,
Right. I was about to say the transatlantic slave trade was about to happen without the white people, but with the homies. And you just all
What?
but basically took the
What?
white people out
yeah,
of
no,
this.
you keep saying what?
You
Like
just did that. That's what you
I
just
did
said.
what?
You was
I
the
did
one that
what?
just said you were the one that just sat there and said that they were making them the heroes of the transatlantic slave.
Yes,
Like the
yeah,
white
like,
so
people
who
didn't
was
have
supposed to
nothing.
be the hero?
They were making the Dahomey tribe the heroes.
Because it's a movie
The
about the
British
homies.
people, this is history. The British people abolished slavery. The Dahomey tribe continued slavery after that. The British people had to go into them and make them stop.
This movie
selling
takes place
black
during
people.
1840,
That is
and slavery
better than
was
what
not
they were
abolished.
doing. What?
This movie takes place.
Y'all ain't making no sense. They stopped slavery. The British Abolish slavery.
Okay, but the
And what
British
Yeah,
is
are
the
not in
British
this,
abolished
happening?
slavery, but that's not that. But still, white
and the
people
British are
still
not
took
in
their
this
ass
film.
over to Africa
They
to
are in
bring
this.
black people back.
The
The,
Whites
invaders
trying to
from
act
this
like
film
because
are
the
from
French,
Portugal.
but the French, the France, the
The
French.
invaders from this
Yes,
film are
but
from
the British,
Portugal,
again, the British abolished slavery.
but the British are
They are
not in this
part
film. The British are not in this film. The
but
Portuguese are.
my point exactly is, and so them not stopping slavery is not in this film either.
The Portuguese was still on slavery. They were still trying
The
to catch
homie tribe
bodies.
did not stop slavery at the end of this film, and like they did in real life. That is totally different.
This is again, you want this film at the end of it to be
I want the whole
100%
movie to be like,
historically
not just
accurate.
the end
You
of
want
it.
it to end with them saying, and even though we fought off these white people, we're still gonna sell you niggas. We're still gonna put you in. Like that's what you want them to do instead of
basically,
They
them
weren't trying
writing
to
a
fight off the white
heroic
people.
script.
They were
Like
trying to
instead of them
participate
writing
in
a
it.
positive and powerful script, you want them to write a script that focuses on them as slave traders.
I don't want it at all. Again, I'm saying this again.
And
But
that's what we
once you
said.
make the
You
movie,
either
tell
want
it
them
right.
as slave traders or you don't want them at all.
And I prefer it not at all if I would have a choice. But if you're going to make the movie, tell the movie right. Don't make
They
them
told the movie right.
the
See, you
protagonist.
can't
Don't
say
make them
tell the
protagonist.
movie right because
I ain't
right
say
and
100% right either.
historically accurate are not always the same thing. Because again, Passion in the Christ wasn't told right.
And I don't like that. When you keep
But
bringing
that's
up Passion of the
you.
Christ. You
That
don't
is that
either.
that is you.
He doesn't like it either. So
Okay, but
I want it made.
literally damn near 1 billion people did. It's one of the highest
I don't
grossing
care
films
if
of
they
all time.
wanted it made or not. But my opinion is I don't want it made. You keep talking about these other people. Now you're generalizing. I'm talking about me. You said you didn't like it either.
You
I
goddamn
don't
right.
want it made
Most
that
white
way.
people.
So I'm giving my opinion about that. I prefer it was not be made. I prefer people
Nah,
not see the
make it.
movie the way it was made.
I
That
want a
is what
sequel.
I'm saying. I'm not speaking generalizing what everybody else thinks about it or what everybody went and supported it and they did $1 billion at the box office. That's fine. I don't care. I don't want it made. You don't want it made, that's fine too. If you want it made, that's fine also too. I'm just giving my opinion why I don't think it should be made or why I did not like the film. Go see it. I want people to go see it, get their own opinion about it because I heard people's opinions about it before I saw it. I went and to go see it myself and went to go get my own opinion about it. I did not like the movie, the way the history was attached to it. Again, I said I would like the movie if the history was not attached to it. That's fine. Put empowering black people on there, great. I didn't like the history attached to it. That's all. You can take historical liberations with it, like every movie does. I get that. But there's certain things I don't think you can take liberties with, and I think they did. Did they touch on the transatlantic slave? Yes. Not enough, though, for me, for my taste. For my taste. If you're fine with it, that's fine. But for my taste, I don't think they did enough for it. Especially when we're putting our story out there, let's get it right. Let's get it right the first time. I don't want breadcrumbs. I want it told right the first time. There's so many stories that can be told. So many. Thousands, millions of stories that are out there that can be told that we don't have to tell a lie or we don't
If
have to
that's the
tell a half truth or
if
we can
that's the
be a little
case,
bit more
dude,
accurate than we are usually in these stories. I didn't like it.
if that's the case, we wouldn't have a lot of movies then as
And I'm
black
fine
people.
with it.
That we should never be fine with not everything is because I'm pretty sure niggas didn't like certain movies when they came out, but these movies need to exist in order to show other black people you can tell the kind of stories that you want. You can take things that you weren't taught about, things that they tried to keep from you, and you can do what you want with your history. Because again, we need to take our own liberties. We've seen them do what they want with their history. We've seen other people do what they want with their history. Why can't we take our own? And again, you're right. It is your opinion. You don't have to like it at all. But to say that they shouldn't have made it, I just can't go with that. Every film has the right to exist, especially if somebody made it with a clear intention. And their intention was positive, their intention was to inform, their intention was to uplift, and their intention was to empower.
Inform. That's a
Yeah,
tricky
because
word.
again, you're right. You can go see the film, conclude your own thing, go do your own independent research, and then you can conclude for yourself if this tribe of people is a people that you, if you think you aspire to be like, if you see anything commendable in them. Because again, we still call our military groups Spartans, like we still call our Marine Spartans, but we know the actual history behind what being a Spartan means. They threw their babies into caverns if they looked unwell at birth. That is a
Mhm.
terrible connotation, but that is something that is still
Correct.
used in our current military ranks to describe
Mhm.
how hard and how tough a Marine is. Spartans, hoo ha. So
Okay.
you can determine it for yourself. History is honestly, unless you were there, it's honestly, it's kind of fiction for real.
So we're gonna say that about everything unless we were there.
Unless we were there, it's kind to us from our
Mm.
standpoint, from our point of view, where we are in
Okay.
time as physical beings, or spiritual beings inhabiting physical bodies. Yeah, it's fictional for real, like literally the for real part, because all we can go is based upon what's written down. And I've read a lot of these books where they write shit down. They be lying in these books. I grew up all my life thinking Africa was a third world country. Little did I mean, excuse me, third world continent. Little did I know Africa is one of the most richest continents on this planet. The
Mhm.
richest, excuse me. Literal El Dorado.
Okay. Y'all lay out your opinion on that. All right. We're gonna move on then from that then. All right. Appreciate y'all. I still love y'all regardless.
They got hot.
You know. Put a
You gonna
fist
fucking love this movie.
put a fist up to the screen. We still good. We still good. I love y'all. We cool. I can't see Raz. I don't know what
Nah,
Raz.
fuck it. I'm gonna say the shit. No.
Because I mean, I was trying to get the sum of what's going on. I really feel like it was lingering a little too long, but I feel y'all. You know, y'all had to get it out or whatever.
We gotta
I've
get
been
our
going
male
back
You
and
see
energy
forth
the
with
out.
movie,
people
Raz?
online about the movie.
We gotta get our male energy out. That's all. I mean, not you, Spark. It's just me and Trent. Make sure I get
Yeah.
that right.
And also I was watching like the whole or not the remake, the reboot of the Planet of the Apes thing. So I got this.
I
I'm
haven't
I'm
even
I'm
seen
just
the
real
movie
big
yet.
on
Y'all
energy.
want
Like
to like,
it
shoot,
was,
I want to see it.
Raz. Raz, like, I ain't even seen the movie yet.
Right, I'm like,
my,
goodness, y'all doing all this, and I haven't even seen. Like, I'm going this weekend to see it, and y'all just doing.
I that's why I didn't know how deep into the movie we could
Oh,
actually get. I didn't.
spoilers. He said
Spoiler alert.
spoilers. He said
Nah, but I
spoilers.
think y'all did good though. I mean, I've seen the movie. I mean, I don't think y'all. She's still gonna be able to see the movie and get her own opinion.
I mean, I'm
Oh
still,
yeah,
you
I
know,
definitely left.
watch
I
Watch it.
left
it
things out.
and form
Definitely
my
watch
own
it.
opinion.
Yeah, definitely watch. Okay.
I
So,
just feel like Red extra, you know, shaved his head today. He extra bald today, so he just.
man, it's the same. No, I just told you I went from 5 to
That's why I
6.
brought up Kratos.
Yeah, he changed the
Ah.
blade in his. So he's spicy today. I don't know. Something.
All right, y'all. Let's see what we got next. All right, we're gonna go into the we're gonna go into the leave it or medicated part.
Leave it.
Or medicated. I actually gotta go put one of these videos up. I forgot to put up, but first thing we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna let y'all speak on it. The Brett Favre situation. Brett Favre, if y'all read, recently got in trouble from misappropriating. No, I ain't gonna say that. He stole some funds from welfare
Wow.
used to build I think, a gym for volleyball purposes for his daughter at a school.
At a school, yeah.
I
Right.
bet you she wild trash at volleyball too.
Probably.
Don't say that. Don't involve the kid. Come on now.
All right. The kids are safe.
Yeah,
But Brett Favre is a piece of shit for that. Because
he
Brett
is.
Favre played, what, at least 12, 15 seasons, I think, in the NFL, made millions and millions of dollars. He has his own money. Why in the world you need to funnel somebody else's money to make this building come true? I didn't understand that.
Greed. I mean, if he can get off without having to pay out of his own pocket, why not?
True. That's definitely true.
A lot of these niggas voted for Trump just for their taxes, bro. I'm telling you.
How did
Right.
he even get access to the welfare funds though?
He knows some people that know some people.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he knows somebody. Yeah, they know a guy that know a
Probably
guy.
a relative. You know how
Right.
those white people are.
Well, like donations and charities and stuff. So when they
Mm,
donating
His
to
daughter
charity,
probably goes to school with their daughter.
that's
right.
very.
Probably on a volleyball team.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense why you want to take from the low income. You already got money, and then you take from low income people
I
to fund.
mean, what obvious thing, we're assuming he got money still. Because when's the last time I'm not really
He
a
got.
football fan. I
He
don't,
He
I
got.
don't
paid it
really.
back.
He does commercials and all that. He got endorsements from everywhere.
Oh
Just
yeah,
about.
discount double check.
Yeah.
Now that's Aaron Rodgers.
Oh damn.
Same
And then
team.
he paid it back. He paid the money back, and now they're trying to come after him for 200 some
Interest.
thousand taxes
That
from
Oh, Brett
interest.
interest.
Favre. Brett Favre old as shit. He might be broke. We don't know for real.
He could be, but that doesn't excuse him doing this in the first
He
place.
might be on welfare. That he might. That's
It's
probably
like,
how he stole it. He might.
I seen his house. He ain't on welfare. Unless
Man,
What?
that man
you can
ain't
put a
nowhere.
mansion in Section 8, which nowadays I wouldn't be
Hey, rich
surprised.
people go broke different. Rich people go broke. They let you keep the house at least because he probably bought it at least.
Yeah. Got to pay them taxes on it, though.
You
Welfare
gotta
ain't
pay
going to pay
tax.
for them taxes. But
Obviously, I don't
let me
know how
read the
that works.
story out. So there was a string of texts that appeared to show the Pro Football Hall of Famer pressuring former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant, a Republican, about funding the construction of a volleyball facility at the University of Southern Mississippi, Favre's alma mater and where his daughter played the sport at the time. Though Favre had been told that missing state funds was potentially illegal. The funding of the project was part of an investigation into millions of dollars of misspent public welfare funds within the Mississippi Department of Human Services. It's unclear how the matter unfolded, but already it's revived discussion about an age-old pattern in the wake of scandal. And this is where people have been talking lately. White athletes seem to be treated differently from their black peers. People believe there's just more vitriol directed at black athletes when they commit wrongdoings or give the appearance of messing up. See, people almost always want a pound of flesh when it comes to black athletes, and it's often unrelenting. So sometimes it's not about coverage, but tone. And I can agree with that because there people have been talking about this story, but it seems like it kind of faded in the background. It's like what's the biggest thing we've been hearing? We talked about earlier, LT, about the Emi Udoka scandal. You know,
Word.
yeah,
A man cheating on his wife.
basically,
Like, imagine the headline: "Man cheats on wife."
right. Not even married though, technically.
Wow, not even they weren't married.
No, they're engaged. They've been
You're right.
engaged.
His last name was not long.
Yeah. He said his last name was not long.
Son, that nigga.
I just called all that.
But damn, yeah. But that's the biggest headline. Like, and you go, I mean, continue. Yeah, you're going right place.
But who affects? Who does that affect more? Someone poor people of having money taken away, where they can't buy food for their kids, keep the electric on, whatever, or someone who cheated on you that you're not related to and you're probably never going to meet and you're not going to get any money from. That's the biggest story though that's out is Ime Udoka's infidelity. It seems to
Like,
be
we're
getting
really
more coverage than Brett Favre stealing. So I guess to leave it or medicated would be, do you think the coverage has been good or under coverage? Do you think it's been good? Leave it. Do you think it's been undercovered, this story about Brett Favre, medicated? Raz, you hear me?
Oh, now I can talk.
No, go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead. I saw a hand in the background. I didn't know what that was. No.
No.
I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, you want to speak on leave it or medicate. Leave it if you think the coverage was right. Enough coverage was made for this story about Brett Favre. Medicated, you think there should be more coverage and he should be thrown under the bus more, or even going to prison for that. What do you want to do? You want to leave it or medicate it?
Medicated.
Medicated. Tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
Because, like you said, if it was like a black athlete that messed up, like, Ray Rice, he put his hands on his girlfriend and he got kicked out of the NFL for doing that. And it was just everywhere, right? And so it's
Hmm.
like they're not covering this story well enough, and yes, he needs to go to prison, and I don't understand what's the difference between a black athlete and a white athlete. So I really just, I feel like they're not covering it well enough. They need to, go deeper into all of his finances, really, because if he stole money from, the low income people, then he may been doing this for a while now.
Right.
He really needs to be investigated. And of course, they're not going to, cover this story because he's a white man. He's probably giving money to different charities and stuff like that. They just want him to, he can finally pay the money back and pay the interest and then, be free and still steal money elsewhere.
Right. And yeah, to do it again. Right.
And
Gotcha.
he's right. He's going to be out to do it again. He's going to be able to do it again, but he's going to be smarter this time because this time he got caught, right?
Hmm. That doesn't mean this is the first time that's ever happened. I'm pretty sure it's happened before.
I'm pretty sure this is not the first time, and it won't be the last because he's getting a slap on his wrist. And I know I'm over or whatever, but he's getting a slap on his wrist, and it's like, I mean, you can say it's like a white thing or whatever, but I don't know. I just feel like it's who you know, how much money you got, and just your history with people.
Okay. Sparky T, I'm gonna let you go next. Leave it if you think the coverage has been just right for this story. Medicated. There needs to be more coverage, more vitriol, or possibly he needs to go to prison if you want to medicate it.
It definitely needs to be medicated.
Okay.
You out here stealing
Are
money
you
from people.
ready?
All
Go!
right.
If you out here stealing money from people, it needs to be talked about. Like we said, there's no way that Brett Favre needed money from welfare anywhere or anybody to build the gym. You wanted to build a gym for your daughter because that's what she was playing volleyball, then your ass should have built it. That's kind of like when people have a party but want somebody else to pay for it, that kind of thing. You want to be the one to take the credit for building the gym, but you didn't want it to be your funds. At the same time, I understand that everybody be trying to like write everything off and have it as a business write off, tax write off, and stuff like that. But you blatantly stole from the people, and they need to talk about it. Like they making sure that they don't really talk about it. Like you said, it's not big news right now, and that part is jacked up. And I'm sure that that is because of who he is and who he knows, and the pull that he has. And the same people that he knows and the pull that he has should have been the same people that help him build that damn gym instead of the welfare people.
Okay. All right. Let's see. LT, what you want to do, man? Do you want to leave it or medicate it?
I ooh, I'd love to sedate it. I'd love to.
He said sedated.
Mm.
Guess that's medicated, I guess. All right. Well,
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
tell us
in a
why.
Are
moment.
you ready? Go!
I know Brett Favre don't work for the fucking NFL no more or whatever the fuck, but Colin Kaepernick literally got fired because he took a knee. Like it's kind of fucked up that as a black athlete, Colin Kaepernick couldn't even express himself and practice his First Amendment right to protest. And this man, Brett Favre, is literally stole millions. And yeah, like the biggest, and I'm on Twitter right now, and there's only been like 300 tweets about Brett Favre in the past hour.
Mm-hmm.
Literally about 500-600 about Emi Imani. What was Emi Ari?
You mean
Oh yeah, but yeah, I think it's a distraction. I think they've definitely picked a more juicier story to distract the masses with, and Brett Favre can suck a dick butt kiss.
okay. She says people take from the poor because nobody's going to do anything about it. Everybody turns a blind eye. There's collective silence when the injustice happens to poor people, aka brown people.
Which brown? Like us brown or Hispanics? Because
Probably all, because all brown people are.
I'm about to say.
Yeah.
So
If it
leave them
happened
out.
to a wealthy demographic, aka white people, there would have been an uproar about it. And
Exactly,
sure there would.
because
You know,
no one expects them to need the charity, need the and it is sad because there are probably families and people who invested into this
right.
charity or people that were hoping to get something out of this charity, and it's
Mhm.
literally being used to build a fucking volleyball court.
All right. Nothing productive. All right. So everybody's, I guess, medicated so far. So I'm gonna medicate it too.
Are you ready? Go!
But now I have a new point because of what she just put up there. Yes, an uproar would have been made if something was done to them. I'll tell you what the biggest uproar would have been. If it would have been from a poor person or someone who's not relatively rich, if they stole money from welfare, they would have got prison time. I guarantee you, they would have got prison time. And they wouldn't even have to steal millions of dollars. They could have stole maybe six figures, maybe a high five figure, and would have went to prison. And what's crazy is it seems like the rich would have got away from it, got away with it. Why? I have no idea. Because you have more money. I guess you can afford better lawyers to get you out of shit that no one else can get away from. So yeah, I think Brett Favre should definitely not get a slap on the wrist because he's just primed to go do it again in the future. Okay. All right. So let's see. So next, leave it or medicated. I think Raz put this story up, I think.
Yay! What I put in?
The guy, the submissive story, the one with the.
Oh yeah,
Oh god.
yeah.
I know y'all about to go off on this one.
Man,
Let me see if I can find it right quick. Oh, here we go. So this video, I don't know where this guy come from. Raz, where is this guy like an entertainer? He's a rapper or something? Who is this guy?
so I honestly don't know. I still have to do my research on him. He's
Okay.
just like a influencer, from what I gathered.
Social media, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of figured too. He was some social media influencer. I didn't know where he came from.
He's an influencer.
But he need to go somewhere. I'll say that. But
He's a fucking clown.
But there may be some people who like it. There may be some people who like it, so we'll give it a chance for people to decide. We'll play the video and yeah, y'all talk amongst yourselves.
With another triggering topic. Now, let me say this. I would always laugh at this person because I thought they were a complete joke and anyone could see through their facade, but I never knew the harm that they were causing to black women. This post is about Nature Boy. I watched the video with some very disturbing footage. I'm going to show y'all the clip and then I'll come back with my commentary.
Ungrateful. That's why you're about to lose your spot. When you lack gratitude, you lose what you have.
I can't see it, Red.
And you have lacked gratitude. And that's why you're on the way out.
Hold on, let's see. It's not
Now the clip and then
Yeah,
I'll
I
come
know.
back with my commentary.
I'm not sure why it's not showing. I don't know why. Hold on. I'm trying to re-upload it. Might be just
The
free.
universe ain't want to subject nobody else to that bullshit.
Exactly. It was like, we don't want to show the viewers this because
Yeah, that was a good one.
like it's like it doesn't show a man operating in his masculine.
Back up.
Yeah, it's not playing now. Shoot.
Good. I can't find this nigga nowhere on Twitter neither. Good. I don't need him on
But people need to see this video.
Yeah, I'm trying to see why it's not playing. It didn't download right. See if I can download
this
it.
nigga named Nature Boy.
Nature Boy. Come on now. He just
Like he
an
damn
island
Ric Flair or somebody.
Let's see. Let me see if I can pull it.
I typed in Nature Boy in Google and it literally popped up Nature Boy Cult.
It shows him.
It shows the cult.
The like not even his name popped up, or as I'm typing in his name, the first thing that pops up is Nature Boy Cult.
Right after this video because it's basically a cult. You know, it's like
With another
Spoiler alert.
triggering topic.
You have lacked.
Still not playing.
and then for like women to just allow it to happen is it's just weird.
Oh my
It's not
God.
for me to understand.
This man been cooking since like 2017. Shit. He's a menace.
Shoot, I had to skip this one.
Why have we not done something about this?
We can probably save it for next show.
I might just skip this one and go to the next one. I'm gonna try this other.
The audio is bad enough though, even if you just
He is
play
a
the
rapper,
audio.
by the way. He's a Georgia rapper.
Ah, there you go.
Back with another triggering topic.
Still ain't coming up. All right, we might have to skip that one. Come back to
Real
it.
name Eligio Bishop.
You said it's on YouTube, man. Is that video on YouTube?
I'll check. Eligio Bishop. He get. Oh wow, this nigga got a. He got videos up here.
Yeah, he has like several videos.
I don't want to introduce this nigga to video. I don't see the video that we were that was in it. What in the actual? No, I'm not clicking on nothing with this man name.
Abort mission.
I got another idea. Let's see if I can pull it up. If it actually pulls up.
It's gotta be wild as hell being a fucking cult member. Like, former, like, is like how do you explain that on your resume? I see you have a 6-year gap in your work history. What is that? I was in a cult. Yeah. You know Jim Jones? Yeah. I'm diabetic, so I couldn't drink the Kool-Aid.
Is there no video like that on YouTube?
I didn't see the one that no. And it looks like on his YouTube, it looks like he's doing actual like edited videos. Like he's really into himself. I don't know if you can tell. He's really vain.
Definitely. All right, I'm gonna try this one more time. If it don't play, then I'll move on from it.
I think he's
narcissistic. Download it again.
With another triggering
bag on you the way I'm doing. Take care of you.
Nah, it ain't playing. We might just listen. I don't know. We might can just listen to the audio. I don't know the audio.
I'm grateful. That's why you're about to lose your spot. When you lack gratitude, you lose what you have. And you have lacked gratitude. And that's why you're on the way out. You're ungrateful, ho. Don't nobody owe you shit. Don't nobody owe you, Leah. You got to work in real life. You're not that beautiful that a nigga gonna bag on you. You're not that bad. You're just not. I mean, being all the way honest with you, bag on you the way I'm doing. Take care of you like you gonna work at Walmart. You gonna be some late night, a nigga. You might get a relationship with a broke nigga, but ain't nobody about to bag on you. You not that bad, Malia. You really not that bad. You really not that bad. I'm really treating you with like your position you're in is for a bad. Act like the rest of these hoes and be grateful that you're here because they're very grateful. See the attitude on her face?
What? Say, ooh, that was a good one.
Was a good one, Zoga. That was a good one. Slap. In the sense, like, stop wasting our. I'm making this shit about you, ho. This about me. Rub my motherfucking legs and my toes and suck on my toes. Bitch, fuck you. And you can say it's abuse, but please leave. Can she please just leave me alone then? It's abuse, but she won't leave. She's scared to leave. For what? Ain't nothing out there but yourself. Exactly. Said be quiet, ho. You too. You could leave too. Y'all thinking ass off me, ho. Fucking touch me with that demon on you, ho.
All right. I think it's enough of that one. We can't see the video, but it's this guy. What's the guy's name? Nature Boy. Nature Boy.
Eligio Bishop.
Sounds like he's a social media influencer as well. He's talking to these women that it's almost like he's a pimp in the video. We can say colt. That's another name for it. We never called it colt as we were little. It was always pimp. And they are being quote unquote submissive to him in the demeaning form of what submissive is. Not, I wouldn't say that is the correct way to be submissive to another man, but it is the demeaning form of being submissive to it. So, based off of what each of us heard, and hope the audience heard too, leave it if you agree. I'm pretty sure what the consensus is going to be amongst us, but leave it if you want to. If you agree with how he is making these women be submissive to him, medicated. If you say, "Oh hell no, this needs to be changed," he needs to be tarred and feathered and taught a lesson. LT, want to leave it or medicate it? You agree with what he's doing, his methods of making women submissive, or something needs to change?
Nigga, I have a mother.
I guess that's
Okay.
I have a mother, a sister, and 2 nieces. What the fuck?
I have a mother.
That's medicated. Okay.
Are you ready? Go!
This nigga is a menace. Oh my god. Why? Cult leader is, a pimp has a stable of whores, and a pimp's mission is to use these women as prostitutes in order to fund his pockets, and there's trickle down economics. There's a business at play with a pimp. This man just literally was in control and possession of women, likened to an R. Kelly, and it's called, let's see, the Carbon Nation cult. Let's see, as well, spread his influence with a robust social media following, and tens of thousands are revealed. So he's arrested. He's been arrested. He's in DeKalb County. So yeah, just he's terrible. Just I don't. What was the question?
Oh, did you agree with his methods of making a woman submissive?
No, I feel like he probably. Oh man, well,
you
I wish
got
I
so
spent
caught
more
up.
time. I'm glad I just said that, because it's going to take so much to actually unpack the psychology behind it. Boom, we get to talk about another villain. Awesome. First, we were talking about the homies and Dahmer. We get to talk about another fucking psychological villain, because this nigga is a misogynistic Hannibal Lecter.
All right. Sparky T. I'm gonna go ahead. You say you want to leave it? Is that what you said?
Me?
Yeah, you say you want to leave it?
Man, I ain't leaving that shit.
But
Don't be doing that.
She want to take an extra
Listen,
time. Go ahead.
I carry a Ruger 4.5 on my hip every day. You gotta ask me whether I'm leaving it or medicating it. Listen,
Go ahead. Tell us what you got to
Are
say.
you
ain't
ready?
nobody.
Go!
There is no way
Mm-hmm.
on God's green earth that anybody could ever talk to me in such a fashion. It's like I see. I'm out there. I'm. It's crazy to me that anybody would allow anybody to talk to them like that, much less a woman. But anybody would allow anybody to talk to them like that. It's crazy that their parents didn't instill, that their tribe didn't instill, that somebody didn't make sure that these women knew that they did not have to take this type of shit. But if you sitting back and allowing somebody to talk to you like that, do you like that? I can only imagine, what your self-esteem yourself, where there is none. Like there is none. It'll take a lifetime to undo the damage that he has done to them. But the fact that they would sit there, like he said, homegirl was scared to leave. Scared of what? And it's a shame that we feel like we have to subject ourselves in such a way just for somebody, as he said, to spend a bag on you. I'm gonna need you to be able to get your own damn bag. You know what I'm saying? And encourage your damn self. But licking on a nigga toes and letting him tell you how you ain't shit ain't the way.
Licking his toes. At one point in that video, like we heard the sound. This is the only part I wish we would have saw it. He slapped the shit out of her. And then one of the girls in the back cheered. That was a good one. Like on some good house nigga type shit.
She must have
You
probably
sure
been the
whip that
bottom chick,
slave
but
daddy.
still.
Like, it make my skin crawl.
It's a shame.
Raz, you say you want to leave it too, right? Raz?
Okay, my bad, my bad. Whew, trying to be a mother at nighttime.
That's a
But
24/7 job.
man, and I'm working while doing this, while being a mother. Can I just, give me a sugar daddy? I'm just saying.
Well, he could be your sugar daddy.
Don't fuck it. I'ma say, don't do it.
Sugar daddy?
Yeah, he gonna take care of you.
Who?
Nature boy.
Okay. That'll do it.
So you say you gonna leave it?
Hell
You cool?
no.
Oh,
Hell no. I'm
dang.
medicating it.
Oh, dang.
Are you ready?
Go
Go!
ahead.
Okay, first of all, when are we as women going to feel protected by our men? First and foremost, no man should ever belittle his woman, even if he has multiple of them. That is not what a man is supposed to do. A man is supposed to be a leader of the household. By him even degrading one of the women, and then he started to hit her, and then another woman was playing on like, yeah, that was a good smack, like that's supposed to get her brownie points because she already know if she I guess is pleasing to him, then she wouldn't get it as worse as the other girl. But why do he have to belittle the women? Like, I hate seeing that so much. And why is the women allowing this to even happen? Why can't we feel protected with our black man? This is a black man, and not only is he looks weak, I bet his dick is small. And at the end of the day, it's like I hate seeing this, and I hate seeing women degrade themselves and allow men to degrade them so much so that they feel as though they're less than and they will never ever be anything. Like, what is he offering to these women? I just want to know.
That's a good question. That's why that's the question I have for like all these pimps. That I'm not saying he's a pimp, but that's pretty much a pimp. I
Well,
always question like, what did they offer that makes them want to subject themselves to that? Because there's some women that can find successful guys that'll spend every dime on them that they want to, but these pimps got this wordplay that just it works on them, and they'll do anything for them, including being uh pissed on, shitted on, made to suck their toes and all that other stuff. So I don't know, it's the wordplay. But with that being said, I guess I'm a medicated as well.
Are you ready? Go!
And as Raz touched on it, the submission thing. This is the submission part that women will bring up and say they don't want to be, and that's understandable. Men should not be treating women like this when it comes to submission. Submission is all about protection. It's all about allowing the guy to put you within his protection, not degrading and demeaning or whatever. Submission is like what um, not to call women children, but children submit to your protection. They trust that you will take care of them and put them in a proper place and put them in a good place that where they also can be successful and take care of the home and take care of you also in turn. And this is not it. This is done all for his ego, and his ego is being fulfilled. He is lacking somewhere to where he feels like he has to treat these women like this to be propped up.
Wow.
Somewhere along the line, maybe he was bullied as a kid, maybe he wasn't treated right as a kid, and he's using this to get some payback.
it
Again, I don't
happens.
know what words he's spitting to these women that I wish we could have played the video, but LT described a little bit of it. It slapped the girl, and the other girl's like, "Oh, that was good." I don't know what kind of household that is where that is allowed anywhere. Most people are trying. I won't say most people, but people are trying to get away from their abuser most of the time. And these women are willingly going towards him for what? What does he offer?
Yeah, it's just like he has to be offering something, or he is getting broken women, who are already in a state of mind of, I have nothing to offer. My self-worth is less than. And so they get a man who they feel is high quality and can elevate them. And so he brainwashes them. And honestly, a pimp doesn't even do that. A pimp, I mean, he may, put his hands on the woman or whatever. But at the end of the day, a pimp is going to make sure that his women is good and he uplifts his woman and he teaches her the game. That's what a good pimp does. A
A
good
good
pimp
pimp.
ain't beating on his women like that. He may
Mm.
hold who, get your ass in check. But it's just like, what are they gaining from this? And then in the video, you know, you see them rubbing on him, and he was like, "Don't touch my feet with that energy or that devil energy." It's like, what is going on?
Just some background on my boy.
Okay.
Or excuse me, Eligio, or
Yeah.
however, Eligio Bishop is a former model slash stripper slash prostitute slash
Wow.
barber.
Whoa, whoa. Let's go back to the one before the barber. What?
Yes, he was a stripper
Man,
and
makes sense.
prostitute.
He put prostitute in there? He didn't put like
That's what he
sex worker.
was.
He put prostitute.
It says he is an admitted cult
He probably
leader.
got charged
There's
with
no pimping.
prostitution.
There's no
Excuse me.
pimping to his shit. Like he refers to himself as God, and as we didn't get that far in the video, but he has these women lay down on the floor in a planking submissive position
Mhm.
and repeat the words, "The black man is God." And though I agree
And
with
we
that
some dumb
sentiment,
bitches.
he is not that. Like he yeah, like what is he lacking in, like what happened to him in his childhood? Like what female force, what feminine force in his life was so domineering and so detrimental that this is how he has to interact with women? Because your men like this feel like they're quote unquote alphas, and this is why being an alpha does not serve the black man at all. It's actually something imprinted in us by white evil. It is something that is literally meant, it's a detriment to the women that you're supposedly trying to attract to you, because you're not attracting these women based upon the merit of who you are as a person, based upon your character, based upon how well you can protect them, how you treat them, your personal, like they're he's manipulating what some women are attracted to, purpose, you know what I'm saying, ambition. He's manipulating that aspect, and the most likely the financial security, something that, yes, we do know that not only I would say women, but people, but yeah, 9 times out of 10, women are definitely looking for in a significant other. He's a, when you're stripping and prostituting, you got money to spare, and a barber.
Mm.
And honestly, I don't know which one is getting him more pussy, because barbers are notorious sluts.
Stereo- Didn't know that was a stereotype for barbers.
It is. So yeah, there's no pimping to this man's game whatsoever. Like he's grooming these women. Yeah, and most likely looking for broken women that have nothing that he can manipulate. Because again, I think the part is very telling where he says the position you're in is that of a bad bitch, and you not a bad bitch. Ain't so all these so ain't nobody where the bad bitch is at then. Because
Ooh.
like if she's in this position and she's acting past her station as past her station as a mid bitch, not a bad bitch, but she's a mid bitch.
Mm.
You allow mid bitches in your position. So again, you're looking for women with lower self esteem than your own, because either something either something was done to you by women in your life, your mother, your big mom, your auntie, whatever the fuck, or these are the negative effects of toxic masculinity. Because let's not like there are people who grow up in environments, especially when you don't have a male figure of your own. You're turning to, your friends. You're turning to the older kids in the neighborhood. You're turning to the random older dudes in the neighborhood that are just always around to talk to little kids. We've all seen Menace to Society. There's always a group of older niggas waiting to give a little kid some fucking malt liquor. And these are things that just like we saw with PNB Rock, RIP PNB Rock, the shooter was a 17-year-old boy who was brought there by his father. So sometimes it's not even just the negative connotations, negative interactions that they may have had with women throughout their life. It's the negative influences that they've had from the present toxic, albeit but present male figures that are in their life. And this dude, I'm gonna continue reading about who he is. Y'all go ahead. This nigga need a series. Fuck Dahmer.
All right. Sparky, you have anything else to put on the subject before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, I do. The one thing is, I talked about, nah, I would never let nobody talk to me like that. But part of the topic, like we said, is about submission. And so on that piece, I don't think, that submission is a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? As a woman, I don't think it's a bad thing. Um, and if you're going to be, married and things of that, it's definitely something that's necessary and that's needed. But what he has going on there is not, you know, what they were talking about when they were talking about submission that people keep relating to. Submission is supposed to be easy. If the person that you with and that you're trying to submit to is doing what they're supposed to be doing, if they give you something that's worth submitting to, if they live in something, if they doing something, shit, submission ain't hard. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Right.
hard, especially when you walk around and you the black woman, you taking all of this on. You always got to be the one on Front Street. You might not have had a person that you could depend on, be up underneath for their covering, trust them, whatever, whatever, whatever. When you finally find that person, and you could take the armor of having to be the warrior off and having to be all that you've had to be, and you could take some of that off and give it to somebody else and submit to them. Shit, that's a good thing. That's a good feeling when you could truly do that. It's supposed to be a safe place. It ain't supposed to be what he got going on right there.
Yeah.
And what he has going on right there is the thing that women are bucking against. It's not so much. It's always told like if women don't want to submit, they don't want it. Is it's not that we don't want to submit. We don't want to be treated like that.
Mhm.
We don't want somebody to try to treat us like that for the sake of submitting. It's not the act of submitting or giving yourself under somebody. It's somebody trying to treat you like shit because you have given yourself to them. Because I've given myself to you. Because that I'm under your covering. Your control, your prayer, under your because I'm under those things manipulate me. That's what women are, pushing against. And he's exhibiting it for us in that video. That's what we don't want. But submission itself, not the problem. Nah.
This nigga refers to himself as three God, the leader
Yeah.
of an alleged polygamous cult who often refers to himself as three God and Nature Boy, facing several charges this week, including false imprisonment and rape. I'm gonna fuck his dumbass name up every time. Bishop, the 40-year-old leader of the group Carbon Nation, was arrested on April 14th on 5 charges, including rape, false imprisonment, and sending sexually explicit electronic submissions without consent. None of these are pimping. Like none of these are PIMP.
Yeah.
Let's not make pimp like that's a good thing too.
That's
Women,
to all my
women,
pimps and players out there. This is not about you. This is
Yeah. To piggyback off of what Sparky was saying, like women are that's the fear that we have to live with. Is submitting to a man and then being feeling like you're less than. Like it's supposed to be a safe space for us. Like we see y'all as leaders. It's nothing wrong with submission. Like I believe in submitting, but I'm not about to be under someone's foot, and be treated as I'm not adding any value to a man at all.
no, you're just gonna be
We
sucking on his foot.
you said what?
You're just gonna be sucking on his foot.
I mean, my man want me to suck on his toes, and that's another story. I
Wow.
mean,
yeah, for someone to want to constantly remind you of how unimportant and unspecial you are, it
yeah,
should make a person question, well, why am I here with you then? And it's sad that those girls I wish I could call them women because like, but he's mentally broken. I don't know if he's mentally broken them, but again, like it's just a whirlwind, a tornado of things that culminate to them finding themselves as members of cults like this. But yeah, you have to wonder like what is it doing for him? And like, how does this
Oh, it
in
makes him
any
feel good.
man?
Yeah.
Yeah, but any man that needs to feel more like a man by exerting that kind of dominance over women is very telling. And the only thing that it's very telling, but the only thing that tells me is how weak you are, because you have to belittle and lower the value of someone else to make yourself feel more valuable. And you have to do it in a mass extent. You're not just doing it to one person. You got to do it to a group of them, and you want them to do it to each other. Like you want that's some sociopathic type shit. Like you really want to see people hate themselves a little bit in order to get their love from them. That's the only way he feels like he can get their love and their affection. And it is something that is sad. And I oh my god, I'm going if I ever have whenever I have a daughter, I'm going to love the shit out of her because goddamn, like
I mean, I don't want to take away from them that they're not women. I mean, they're
I
women,
don't either, but
but
it's
you
not even
know,
their femininity, their humanity, like
Okay.
their autonomy, their what makes them grown, essentially.
Yeah. I think they were already broken before they got to him. He's just further, pushing them
Exploiting
into
that,
the ground.
definitely
Yeah.
manipulating
Yeah.
that and preying on it.
Right. And his tactic of saying, you're not even the baddest bitch, and putting them, he's setting them up. It's almost
Because
like
why? Then why
it's
are
almost
you
like a
fucking
Willie
me?
Lynch type
Like,
of thing. It's almost like a Willie Lynch type of thing where he's getting the other women to berate the other women and saying, "Hey, you're not even good enough. You're not even her level, so you don't deserve this." And the other girl will end up telling him, "Nah, you don't deserve this." And
that's
they're,
like
they're
getting a light skinned girl, having a light skinned girlfriend and a dark skinned girlfriend just to make them argue about that.
right, and that's what it. Yeah, and that's basically kind of what it is. There, he's setting them
yeah, I
up.
didn't know where that was going. I was like, hold on.
He's berating, making the other women berate each other to help his
Yeah.
cause out.
Because yeah, because it's all to gratify him. Because as long as it's kind of like a victim syndrome or Stockholm syndrome, where
Yeah.
as long as it's not focused on me, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he'll like me more if I help him abuse the other bitches. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he'll abuse me a little bit less. Or you start to sympathize with them. You know what I'm saying? They show you little bits and pieces of what you think is kindness, of what you think you deserve. Again, like just again, rounding back to the woman king, you have to make somebody think that they deserve to be subjugated in order to subjugate
them. All right. Let's go to the last Leave It or Medicated of tonight.
Leave it
or medicated. Okay. This is about a grudge. Basically, some people hold grudges for a couple days. Some people hold on to grudges for years, and then kaplow, hit you with it out of nowhere. Some women will hit you with a grudge in the middle of the night, and you're like, where did that come from? And in this case, this guy, even after someone died, he couldn't let this grudge go. Let me pull up the story. This guy here, I think he was in New Jersey. Yep, New Jersey. A New Jersey man. Let's see. A New Jersey man is in shock after he says he caught his mother's ex-husband urinating on her grave while investigating months of desecration. Michael Murphy choked up as he described what he witnessed last Sunday at Tappan Cemetery in Rockland County. He shot video of the man, her ex-husband, who had allegedly been desecrating the grave of his mother, Linda Torello. He said, I could see him up there like this, and I could hear the urine hitting the ground. Murphy said, I promised my wife and kids the day before. I promised my sisters before because I was fuming. I would not hurt the man, but we wanted to do it the right way. We thought we'd get justice this way. Said it all started back in April when Murphy and his sister started finding deli bags filled with feces near their mother's headstone. They initially thought it may have been left behind by a careless dog. Not sure why it would leave a deli bag. Dogs are pretty good. I'm mistaken. By a careless dog walker or dog owner. Okay, that makes better sense. But after the second bag was found, they knew they'd been left there intentionally. They contacted the police. They came and took a report and said, if you find another one, let us know. So they found another one a couple of weeks later. Murphy and his family then got the green light from the cemetery to install cameras to catch the culprit. Camera timestamps the man coming to the grave with his wife, waiting in the car around 6:15 a.m. for 4 consecutive days. On the fifth day, Murphy propped his camera on a nearby headstone and shot video of the suspect, a man he says is his mother's ex-wife, whom she divorced 4 decades ago. There has been no contact since 1976. I know they were married for a year. They had a bad breakup. This should never
1
happen
year?
to anybody. 1976, dude. 1976.
Did they date for like years? But I'm sorry, hold on.
I don't know. But they divorced for a decade. That is.
Yeah, because no matter what, like even if they dated for like 5 years before then, you've been divorced for 40 years.
That's 46 years ago. 46 years ago. So he held a grudge and he's still.
Hey, when's his birthday? I need to know his zodiac sign.
I don't know. That would be great. Probably a Leo. I don't know. But right now, it's unclear to Torello's family why or even how long this has been going on, but they want more serious charges than just public urination. They also hope legislation could make this a crime. So it's not even a crime? Okay. No.
I could have been shitting on niggas' graves.
Shut up.
You can go right now.
He says, that's desecration. Don't do.
He's gone right now. I wonder who he's going to go shit on right now.
Man.
So, hell, you can shit
Elvis Presley's grave.
You can shit on live people right now and make a good.
I'm gonna shit on Graceland
about it and make some money off of it, probably too.
Some people, yeah.
There's a whole industry combined to that.
It's called scat videos.
2 girls in a cup. All right. So, leave it or medicated.
Yeah, that was gross.
Leave it or medicated with this. I'm not even gonna put leave it up there. I'm just gonna put medicated. What do y'all want to do to this guy? If you medicated, what do you want to do to this guy? If you caught him doing this to your family members, your closest family member's grave, medicated, what do you want to do to him? Raz, I'm gonna let you go first on it. What would you like to do to this guy?
I mean, definitely go to the jail. Or that's
go.
All right, go ahead. What you got?
Yeah, he needs to go to jail. You know, because it's sending a statement to everybody, like grave robbers and, you know, anyone who is like holding a grudge or whatever, like, oh, it's okay to go and pee on somebody's grave and desecrate their grave and, you know, their remembrance and their memory. And for a loved one to come and discover that, like, he needs to go to jail and he needs to pay a fine or whatever. And yeah, because that's sick. Like, why would you do that? It's sick. Like, it's really just sick, and it has to take a sick and sad individual to, after the person is dead, to do some shit like that.
In 46 years. Let's not even forget that. 46 years. Some people don't live that long.
Some people don't.
All right.
Man, she must have sucked his dick good.
LT. I'll let you go next, man. I know you're going medicated. What are you going to do?
Are you ready? Go.
God damn. The only way to make it right is her son gets to urinate on him while he can either go to jail for the rest of his life or for the rest of his life he can live free while that woman's son gets to come to his house and defecate on his porch and urinate on him, urinate in his bed. Honestly, that's what I would like to see happen. Because goddamn, 46 years, like if this man, like, first off, don't put him in jail, put him in a psych ward, because there's something chemically off with someone that can hold a grudge for that long and practice that amount of discipline and to a routine, to be spiteful and vindictive long past the person that is even alive will even be around to suffer from it. They're dead. Like you won, but they won because now they're controlling it. Now your life is over because you're in jail. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. 46 years worth. All right, Spark. What you got to say on it?
Are you ready? Go!
Well, first of all, if I would have seen somebody pissing or shitting on the grave of my close family member, they was gonna get their ass whooped. That was the first thing. Then where y'all want to send, yo, 46 years is a long time.
Breaking up there.
Whatever it was that you was mad about, I don't even care what the hell it was. Whatever it was that you was mad about, like, you have let that thing consume you. That's the ultimate. That's why you need to forgive somebody. You know, they be like, forgiveness is for you and not for the other person. Hello, he done held on to whatever he was mad about for 46 years. She did died and went on. That Joker's still in bondage, still mad about it. So much so that he done went and pissed on her grave and left bags of shit there. Like, he was really trying to tell her she was a shit bag.
He really did, though. Yeah.
You know the kind of precision it takes to shit into a bag, like,
He probably touched it.
like he definitely got some dookie on his fingertips.
He
Like,
did.
He
was
might
like,
have just got gloves and just put whatever in the toilet. He might
no,
just
no, you're not gonna tell me that every day for 46 years, every day he went out there with gloves.
No, I don't
He
think
had gloves every single time he went out there to shit.
No, I don't think it was 46 years straight. I think it was just kind of recent he started doing this. That they just
I
started
don't know.
because she
If
just
you
died
if
not as long
That's
ago.
even worse.
Yeah.
it is.
Okay. I was about to
if
say
you
what
been
made it just start all of a sudden, but I guess she just died. So
Yeah.
because now I want to know what has he been doing for 46 years. Like
Holding a
like we don't
serious
even
grudge.
know.
Like, yeah, because what I also would think too is like, what would the wife think about? Because I think he's married too. 'Cause I think they said he was coming to the gravesite with his wife.
they didn't say he
You
was
thinking more
with his
about another
wife.
woman?
Yeah, I thought I heard you say
Okay,
that.
she was holding the bag. All
So
right, there we
you
go.
thinking more
Okay,
about
makes sense.
you thinking
It
more
makes sense.
about your ex-wife than your current wife? She has that kind of hold on you? Man,
He might have left his ex-wife for his current wife, and that's why she's like, yeah, get her, daddy.
yeah.
Some shit. Oh,
So yeah,
Or maybe it was a sexual type thing with them.
could have been a scat. Could have been a scat. Or
yeah,
she's his
but,
nurse, or she's waiting for him to die.
all right. So I yeah, like Sparky said, if you see him doing this, and that takes a lot of resolve to not see him do this and then not whip his behind.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's your mama grave. Like,
yeah,
what?
I'm guessing he's gonna get jail time, but they're saying this is not a crime. So what I guess I would say do is give all the
So
family
is it a crime to
involved in it.
shit on a
Hold
person?
on, hold on. My point. My time go. My
Oh,
time.
my bad.
I guess I would say I would allow all the family members involved in this and feed them all laxative and go to his house and just shit anywhere they want to in his house and for the amount of time that's his probation. Allow them to come at any time they feel like they need to come to his house and take a shit. Don't need to be in the toilet. It can be anywhere in the house, and he has to leave it there for a whole day before he can clean it up. Matter of fact, make him get carpets. Make him get carpets throughout the entire house.
I
And
agree.
let them shit where they want to in the house. And he has to smell that shit for the entirety of his dwelling in that house.
And he
And
gotta
that-
leave the
that's not-
windows closed. He gotta keep the windows closed.
keep the windows closed.
No
Implant
fans.
flies in there too.
No Febreze, no nothing.
Nothing.
You gotta hold the bag.
He got to hold it with his hands. No bag. Straight up. No gloves, nothing.
Spray
I don't know what else you could do to that. I mean, if that's not that sounds like a hate crime.
He hate that. He hate her.
If I mean, he might as well just burn a cross on her gravesite. That sounds like worse than a hate crime. Leaving some shit on there. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like burning a cross takes considerably less effort.
Yeah,
This
it does.
nigga,
It's 2 sticks and that's it.
like, he made sure that he had something on his motivation for getting up and having breakfast that morning was just so he could have a strong bowel movement to
Man,
drop over
he
her
was
grave.
holding that all day.
Like, and you know it, like, ooh, there would be days where he just couldn't wait to get to it's like, ooh, I can't find the toilet. Nope. You know what? I know where I'm going.
And I know she's complicit in it too. So it's like,
Probably
you
gave him that.
supposed to talk your husband out of this. I'm like, I don't think
Not
that's
if
a
you're
good
just as
idea
petty.
for you to go shit on your ex-wife's grave. I don't think that's such a good idea. What was she like? Nah, that bitch fucked you over
What
in
if she was shitting
1976.
too? What if this was just a
Well,
go
what
ahead,
if
go
it
ahead.
was some type of sexual act? You know, what if it was they got off of
But
him taking a shit?
46, but
Well, I
46
don't think
years though.
see,
He
but
46.
was
that's the
like,
thing.
"Oh,
Do
my
we know
baby."
if it was happening for 46? Let me see. How long was he actually going to her gravesite and dropping a deuce?
I mean, I
And
don't
how
know.
did
This
he
said
even
2
find out where
months.
she was buried? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, man.
My thing is, if you that mad to go do that, what did you do to express your anger over these last 40 something years? You didn't just end up being that mad at her, and you probably
No,
didn't hold it for all this time before she died. So what the hell was you doing to torture her while she was alive? Because you was that mad still.
He probably was torturing, calling her, hanging up, sending her letters.
Doing something though, something.
He
I
probably
wonder. I
was.
wonder what he was doing, because that don't just
Yeah.
come up like that. That you just that mad that you gonna go shit on her grave because she dead. You was doing something all this time probably to her. They probably just maybe didn't know it or whatever. That shit crazy, for lack of better words.
yeah. All
All right,
right.
let's see. In line with all right, let me see. Let me
I
see.
see what you did there.
You
That was funny.
Let's see. All right. Let's.
apparently he left her because she got pregnant and
Oh, you found
insisting
more
the
information.
kid used to be let me see. In line with WABC information, the person, it appears, has a long-standing grudge in opposing to Torelio, the dead lady, RIP to my
Mhm.
lady Torelio. He used to be in brief married to her greater than 40 years in the past and left when she became pregnant, insisting the kid used to be now not his. Her circle of relatives informed the media. DNA research proved that the person used to be the certainly okay. Whoever typed this is, I don't like the way they type. To be certainly the kid's father. Okay, so he was the father. Shitbag. He's already a terrible person. He's already the nigga you boo on when he's walking out on Mari. In line with the published, and to really still remain remarried. Let's see.
So the
Where
same
is
son that
the
videotaped him, was
Yep.
he the kid in question? That might not be the daddy.
uh, I
Imagine how he
think
must
so. I'm
feel.
gonna read a
Like,
little
dang, I
bit.
know she. You know.
Mm. Is that strong enough to hold a 46-year-old grudge? There gotta be something else. There's gotta be.
And you was mad enough to just leave and leave her and the child. You still 46.
I
It's
mean,
not like you paid child support for 46 years. What?
and she
Maybe
took
he
it to the
did.
grave, so we would never know.
Okay, so he would do this every morning at 5 a.m. I'm
That's
just
what I'm
finding
saying. That's a
It's every morning.
at 5 a.m. God damn. He
That's
he lives
crazy.
in New Jersey. He would drive to New York every day.
Well, that doesn't
Oh my,
necessarily mean that's a lot, though. That don't
yeah.
mean that that's a
but the
lot,
traffic
because
though,
you could
just
be.
the traffic.
Mm, I got
Just
you
the
though,
amount
but
of people.
Want to
either
know
way,
what
it
is
don't
he
matter. I don't care if he
doing?
walked next door to do it. It's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, like just you hopped in the
Oh, that's
whip
right.
to oh my god.
At 5 in the morning.
Right.
First
To
piss
go
of the
to the
day.
graveyard. Most
He
people
wants
scared of the graveyard. You go into the graveyard every morning at 5 in the morning when it's still dark to go shit on somebody's grave.
That is how powerful a grudge can be, and
That's
that's how.
dedication.
That and I know you hear people say when you don't forgive somebody, it hurts you more than it does the other person.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
a
that's what I
perfect
said. That's
example.
the epitome of that. Yeah.
All
All
right,
right.
I think I found his
Man,
name.
that's some
Dean
dedication
Etchler.
right there, boy. It's like I'm mad, but it's like that man was so dedicated.
Okay, she was
Mhm.
pregnant with her daughter Renee when her husband at the time, Dean Etchler, walked out on her. So that's who was peeing on her grave. Dean
That
Etchler.
doesn't- damn. Yeah, that
Well,
doesn't
maybe
even.
he's just a narcissist, and just he's mad because she got away, or she just didn't want.
Maybe.
He left her.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, she could still get away. He probably wanted her back, and she was like,
Let's
she
see. In
moved
a
on.
situation
Got
like
married.
this, often the in-laws take the side of their son. However, in Etchler's case, they supported Linda and her daughter. Maybe they understood just what sort of prince Etchler was. Prince, I think they're using that ironically.
All
Let's
right.
see. So apparently his parents said, "Fuck him. We're with you, Linda. R.I.P. Linda."
I don't even know
they
what they could
probably
say.
they probably cut him out of the will because of
Because I'm
it
guessing that
too.
was their grandbaby. That was actually their grandbaby, and he left.
Yeah.
I'm saying he
Yeah.
walked out on her. So that's why they fucked with his ex-wife. Okay, yeah, it makes sense now. So his family probably stopped fucking with him because of that, and his life probably went to shit. So he probably started going to shit on her.
That's why he shouldn't have been a deadbeat.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Uh,
this is the whole lesson of all of this.
All right. All right. Let's end it on that. Let's go into the last part. Just for laughs. The deepest thought presented by Nelly and Lil Wayne.
You're 100. You're
Yeah,
100. My
I,
God.
other people see why I see stuff coming at the bottom? That's people saying stuff to me and
Yeah.
you.
I think we both on here.
Oh,
Yeah, we both on here. They talking to us. They hollering it out. Somebody said y'all good.
can I smoke on you?
Yeah. I hope so. I am.
It's,
I
why
mean, we
why
gonna go together.
everything
If
sparkling? Why everything sparkling on you and stuff?
what's that shit you smoking?
No, why is everything sparkling on you? Like you got
Oh, I think that's some shit you smoke. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I don't know. I think that's right.
Okay, asshole.
Hold on. Yo, why is it? Okay, hold on. No, that ain't it. Oh, hold on. I got an effect. Oh, there we go.
all right, yeah, take your effects off, man.
Hey, man, listen, man. I just told you I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. My shit go through there automatically.
Oh,
Like,
when
I
rappers
left.
do the darnest things, not knowing to use technology because everybody does the technology for them. All right, that was the deepest thought. We're going to end the show on that note. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on Thursday for Hostile Therapy with me, Big Red, Lord Trent, aka LT, Sparky T, and Raz coming back for the show. And we'll see you on the next podcast on next Thursday at 7 p.m. YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
peace.
He